What is going on, YouTube? This is your boy Liger, one half and duo, and this is the next episode of One on One. I apologize, but life got into the way of my very special guest. But it's life. We can't. This is not. This is TV, and life interrupts it sometimes. So it's how should I say it? It just take the good with the bad. But other than that, I have the Good Shepherd on to this one-on-one where we're gonna talk about stuff and ask about his channel and just get into his game in mind and stuff like that. So with that said, I want to introduce my host, the Good Shepherd. How you doing, bro?
Greetings and salutations, good people. This is the Good Shepherd. I often label myself as the ADHD specialist because I admit it, I'm a bit random. So I'm gonna try to contain myself a little bit tonight, but don't be surprised if I tend to bounce around. But I strongly believe in live, learn, grow. That's always been my concept, at least for the last 10 to 20 years. So I believe you live your life, or some people say love your life. You learn from the mistakes, because guess what? You are going to make mistakes. And if you think otherwise, then you're really not living your life, are you? I'm just saying. And then once you learn, you grow.
Yep.
That's what it's all about. I'm also a hardcore gamer. Well,
You're a gamer.
depending on what your perception of what a hardcore gamer is.
You're a gamer. I have a different
I'm a
perspective.
gamer.
Yeah.
I live my life. I read books. I draw. I paint. I'm working on a book, actually. I write poetry. I try to be an all-rounder. We see how this goes. Yes, I'm the Good Shepherd. This is I. And as we talk some more, you guys will get a better view of my life, I suppose.
Okay, so basically, I've been doing this. I did this with Andre. I did this with Red Fox. I did Mr. Red Fox. I did this with Celine, and this is basically the one-on-ones to just cross promotion of people's channels, but also to get get a glimpse. Just as he basically put out his little forward right there of his of what's going on with him, but to see what these guys are talking about, of course. So the first question will be, as most people know these questions, some of the questions, but let me put this up too. I took some of the questions from the earlier podcast, and me and him's going to answer it later on. So the question app is open. So if you have questions you want to ask about whatever, like I said, me and the Good Shepherd will answer them with our honest opinions about things. And maybe time to time, it might be a little life coming into this podcast, but I hope everything goes smoothly. But with that said, I'll go into the first question. What was the first time when did you what was the first console you played, and what was the first console that you bought with your own money?
You want me to go first, or how are we going to do the order on this one?
No. That's the question. No,
Oh, for me, okay.
I'm talking to you only, and you only now. Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it applied to both of us or just okay.
No,
Well,
no, no, no,
the
no.
first,
I'm talking to you. Everybody basically kind of understand my stuff. You're basically I'm interviewing you, sir. Go right ahead.
the first console I remember playing, because I know my cousins had other stuff. I'm a young buck. Was the
Mhm.
2600 Atari. My
Oh, okay.
parents bought me a 2600 Atari. We had the little miniature arcade cabinets, which I loved, like Frogger and Donkey Kong and stuff.
Hmm.
But we had the Atari. The first console I bought, whew, yep, okay, let me make this clear because I don't know if people understand this. I grew up in the Caribbean, and I wouldn't say I was dirt poor, but I guess compared to here in America, I was dirt poor.
True.
So I didn't buy my first console until my teen years. Because what happened was is that once I became old enough to have a job, my
Hmm.
money didn't go towards myself, it went towards my family. I've been
Okay.
working since I was 15 years old.
Hey, same here.
1995, if y'all don't know. So 1995, I was 15 years old. Y'all do the math. But I wasn't able to spend money on myself like that. So my first actual console I bought for myself was actually a GameCube. I had a PlayStation, but I was gifted to me.
No, but the only reason I ask that question to everybody else is like, I mean, it's not, it's just that when you got your own money, it kind of sets up not saying that you gotta be a fandom or whatever, but it's an important choice that, okay, I got money, I looked at the market, what system would I buy? That you could buy anything. It was just a choice on you that I want to show people
Oh,
that a choice on you that I have money for the first time that I could buy a console. Could I buy this? Could I buy that? Could I buy this? It could buy anything. I'm just a general fact
no,
to put out.
no. My first console that I owned, but it wasn't paid for by me, was a PlayStation, and I loved my PlayStation, and I had a ton of games that I bought for my PlayStation. But the first console I paid for with my own money was a GameCube, and I was in the Marine Corps at the time.
Huh. What was the first game you bought with that GameCube?
I can't remember, but I know one of the first games I bought was Wave Race,
Oh, okay.
Mario Sunshine,
Mario.
and I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think that's essentially what I got. But give me a moment. Like you said, I have a life moment I got to deal with for about a minute. So,
Oh, no problem. No problem. Um, with that said, I'm gonna. Like I say, look, I say Lucasilo is already in there with a lot of questions. So I will be, like I say, here I'm gonna have to answer questions back and forth. Just like I said, because I know life moments has happened. So let me see. This one basically for me. So let me ask. I can answer this for Lupacillo. As a sound engineer, how do you program dynamic sound data for games? I.e., Star Fox Adventures surround sound changes depending on which direction Fox is facing, so you can play with it quite a bit. It's one of my favorites. Basically, Vasila, I answered that question in the one-on-one with Celine. When you do dynamics, direction, sound, stuff like that. When you're doing stuff that does more sound, now atmospheric sound you can do with C plus. You could do it. I mean, you could do it with C plus, and you could program it that it picks up the like you said, like Fox turn a certain way, or like Mario when he jumps into the water that it changes the tune and stuff like that. You can write it because those are atmospheric kind of sounds and music that they could change. So you could write those coding with C plus and program the trigger that when the action you basically like, okay, I'll give you like Mario, like you did Star Fox. I'll give you some more with Mario. Like once I give my code of the music and what's supposed to be right to the developers who are doing the gaming itself and everything, they can input my code to trigger with this song or this whatever when Mario jumps to the water, like I just said, or when he gets a power up. So my code is getting embedded into their code of the sound, and hopefully, me and that same person will go back and forth, making sure that it works. It quality tests lots of times, that it triggers every time to make sure that a couple of our coding matches really good, and it happens. It basically happens about 90% of the time. I mean, because again, everything has a failure rate, every single thing. So that is one thing that we do, but when it's more like action-based stuff, and that's why I did with Salim. Like, if you want something that's for more fast action-based stuff, C++ would be better to do that in. Excuse me. C++ would be better to do with it because you're doing more stuff with sound effects and atmospheric and with lightning. You're doing with a lot more stuff for that, but mostly like I said with Red Steel 2, because you're using sound in crashing swords and a bullet, and he's going with your action, and those got to keep up. You have to write a code tighter and it's more how should I say this? It is more heavy. Is not heavier. That's not the word to say. It's dang it. It is more. I mean, it's more skill based. I mean, I'm trying to. I have a word in my head. I hate when that happens. When you got a word in your head, but you can't remember it fully. But you're writing more stuff for C++, and so you got to pay attention to what your coding works in, And like I said, for action games like that, I was told for Salim, he was asking this for his students and stuff. That's the one I feel comfortable with. You can do it with C plus, but it's not with fast paced action and stuff. It's not really that well. But how that works, like I said, but how it works is I could link in I could again once I write my lines of code, I give it to the person who's programming the game, and they basically use it as a trigger, of course, to do certain things. So that's how that quit. I hope that's basically how I've been doing it in the past.
Damn immigrant can't even speak English. I does.
Yeah, yeah, whatever, immigrant. But anyway, as you just talk about the GameCube and all the GameCube you bought, Wave Race and stuff like that. With that, he's so crazy.
Oh, and Smash. But I don't remember how early I got Smash, but that was one of my first games. And Rogue Squadron. I gotta look at it. I actually need to Google the timeline. But I
Oh,
remember
okay.
those were some of the first games I bought for my GameCube back then.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
And then I
Well,
quickly got my PlayStation 2 right after. But I got the GameCube before I got the PlayStation 2.
oh, okay. Well, next question would be this: like, you've been known as an avid RPG fan. That is what you are. So first question will be a doozy, and then we'll just take little questions off of RPGs. But basically, what was the first RPG that entrapped you? That make you say, I like RPGs this much? That's basically making this my genre of choice.
I can't recall which was the first one per se, but I
Mhm.
will say the first RPG I can recall leaving an imprint on me was Chrysalis on the Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
I loved Chrysalis with a passion. Actually, I think I need to replay that game now because I might have a different viewpoint. But back then, I loved it. Yeah, it's a dangerous game because every now and again, there's stuff you loved from your past, and you go back and you play it again, and you're like, why did I like it? But I remembered I loved Chrysalis in particular, and I moved on from there. That was one of the first RPGs I can recall playing and truly enjoying.
Oh,
And I was like about 11 years old at the time.
okay. That is good. What about if that's you have that, and then I know what was your let me put it this way: what is your top three RPGs up to now? If you can take your
Final
time, and
Fantasy
then
Tactics, number one, hands down.
are
Final
you
Fantasy Tactics, Final
Final Fan-
Fantasy 6. That's number two.
okay? Third one.
Three is a kind of a gray area because there's tons of games that I could rotate for number three. So I can't really give a number three there. But number one is Final Fantasy Tactics. I love the storyline. I love the job class system. And it was the first game that forced me to really learn the mechanics. Because when I first played Tactics, I hated it. My brother heckled me for it. Ironically, now he hates the game and I love the game. That's the irony of life. I did not like Tactics. I thought it was complicated and boring. But I did not like my brother heckling me, and I was a stubborn brat. I still kind of am. I wanted to prove him wrong. So once I figured out the mechanics, I did the tutorial, which, oh my god, the tutorial is dry. When I say it's dried in dirt. It's sand. I don't know if there's anything dried in sand, but it is so dry. But once I figured it out, oh my god, I fell in love with that game. And the storyline is superb. Like if they made the storyline into a movie, I would buy the movie in a heartbeat. People are sleeping on the storyline. One thing I have to give Square, they've messed up here and there, but they know how to tell a story.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
every single time, because they failed. I don't know how I feel about 13 and beyond. 12 was better than I expected, but 12 wasn't exactly great either. 11 I didn't touch.
Okay.
So, but back in the day at least, in the Squaresoft days, they were superbly. Oh my god,
Well,
Final
yeah.
Fantasy VI is the best Final Fantasy. I don't care what anybody says. and I could break it down for you if necessary.
Well, basically, I was going to ask a question. You know, one of the reasons, because I know you are a Final Fantasy six. I mean, other than me, you have our own private conversation. We talked about one of the reasons that game sticks out to a lot of people is because when you have a good, you have a good bad guy, it just makes it even more memorable.
Oh, Kefka is the best bad guy I've ever come across, hands down. He is what the Joker aspires to be.
You know,
He's a Japanese version. He's a Japanese version of Joker done right.
got you. Technically speaking, because of the sales, but that would be a good game to be made. Was be that one.
And that's what upsets me. They've remade a ton of games, but yet they haven't remade six. They've done little touches up. Like I just actually I admit it. I bought it because I'm certain games I'm hooked on. Tactics and Final Fantasy 6 is one. I
Hmm.
bought the mobile version. I'm not big on mobile gaming, although I've been more lenient in the last year or so.
Hmm.
But I had to get these games. And I'm not saying they did the greatest job, but it was nice. It was refreshing to play these games again with a slightly new skin. Do I think it's a hustle? Yes. Do I think you should mess with these games in this current form? Probably not. But I just have such a strong passion for these games, I had to play it again. And it's convenient because now I could play it anywhere I go.
Yeah.
Granted, I could play 6 technically on my Game Boy Advance, which I crap. Where is my Game Boy Advance? I think I lent it to my niece.
Oh wow. Okay.
I occasionally lend stuff out. Like she has my GameCube.
Okay. All right. So
So
the third is a hard one, but okay, with that said, then let me ask this question then. Um, what's uh what's your favorite franchise, and what game has you bought, or if that's not the same, what game of a franchise you bought the most? If it's the same, then you can say the same way. If it's not, because like I said, Red had a different answer. So as what his favorite franchise and what he bought the
mm,
most. So
see, that's a tough call. Because if
and
you say a franchise I bought the most of, it would have to be. It's probably going to be Street Fighter. Ironically,
we'll get to that later on. But okay,
there's so many iterations of Street Fighter. It's ridiculous, and I've bought most of them.
I got you.
Not all.
No, so that's a
Some
game.
because common sense, to skip a few because they're going to do a new one anyway, which covers. Okay, let's leave that alone. Anybody who's in this podcast or listening to this podcast knows gaming enough to know what I'm talking about. So
Yeah,
let's leave
yeah.
that alone.
Okay, but what was your favorite? But what's your favorite franchise?
Hmm. If you asked me this question over a decade ago, it would have been Final Fantasy with no hesitation.
But now,
Now, I I hate to admit it, I really don't have not anymore. Final Fantasy let me down. I got 12 on a whim. I almost didn't even get 12. I bought 13, and 13 is beautiful. That's all I have to say about 13. It's pretty.
it's
I
Purdy.
played it.
It's Purdy. All right, all right. Okay,
It,
well,
it, it's I mean, it's not. I won't say it's a bad game, but it's not for me.
no. Again, this is you don't gotta. Who
No,
look?
I'm
I'm
just.
asking.
I'm not kissing any beat buddy's butt or whatever. I'm trying to be as honest as possible without completely crushing people's hopes.
You ain't got to
For
crush some
now,
people's hope. I'm asking you. This hell. These guys.
13 is a major Okay, fine. 13 is a major disappointment. Let's move on.
All right. Well, me and you had this conversation as well too. Since you're an RPG person, what style of RPG you like the most? And I'm not talking about JRP Western and all that crap. No, I'm talking about like turn-based action adventures, stuff. Which one is your favorite RPG style?
My favorite would be turn-based, I suppose, but I cannot deny tactics really screwed up my viewpoint on RPGs.
How
Because
so?
I love tactics. I love Vandal Hearts. Most people hate Vandal Hearts because Vandal Hearts is very unforgiving. I don't know if you ever played it, look it up. Brand Hearts was a strategy RPG on the PlayStation. And unlike a lot of games, once you pick a pet, you more or less stick on that pet, and it is very easy to die in that game if you're careless. It's also very bloody, actually. I'm amazed by how uncensored that game is. I actually need to get a new copy of it. Like they'll hit you and you just see a spray of blood. Vandal Hearts is a bloody version, an unforgiving version of Final Fantasy Tactics. And I love this Gaia. This Gaia lured me in with the over the top antics and the anime. So I guess as much as I hate to admit it, I currently favor strategy RPGs.
Okay, no.
I play all RPGs, but strategy RPGs is my current favorite for now.
Okay, no.
So I can be convinced otherwise. I've been getting more lenient towards action RPGs because that used to be my least favorite. The only action RPGs that I used to like was the Tales of. I have a weakness for the Tales of ever since I played my first Tales of on GameCube, and then I quickly picked up the Game Boy Advance versions.
Oh, you mean Symphonia?
Yep, Tales of Symphonia is what turned me onto the Tales of series.
Oh, okay. And then yeah, okay.
And from there I played almost every single Tales of there's in existence.
Oh wow.
And if I haven't gotten it all, I intend to eventually do them all. That didn't sound right, but I don't care.
No, because I didn't get the what was it, the Legend, the one for PlayStation 2, Tales of Legend, what was that one? I forgot the name of it. The one for PlayStation 2.
I don't remember it off the top of my head either. But I'm in my bedroom right now, and I have most of my PlayStation 2 games here, so maybe I could see it.
No, Tales of Legend.
It's not Legaia. That's a completely that's not Tales of.
No, it's Legendaria, something like that. I'm pronouncing it wrong, of course. It's Legendia. It was on Legandia. Could be that.
I've never played that one. I'm gonna have to look for that.
That's the one with
hop on Amazon.
Yeah, that's the main protagonist. He's a boy, but he don't use weapons. His thing is he's like a fighter. Like unlike Lloyd, who's a sword, or everybody else who has weapons.
He's a melee fist and feet type of fighter.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to look for that one.
Yeah, that's the one. I have not played that one.
How many Mega Man X versions do I have? This is crazy. Sorry.
But I have but I know like I said, I got enthralled with Fantasia on Super NES. That was a pretty cool game at the time. I was like, wow, okay, I'm liking this style. And then like you, Tales
I think I played Fantasia on the Game Boy Advance version.
Yeah, it was re-released on the Game Boy Advance. Yeah, no, I was saying. And
that's the one I played.
Yeah.
Continue.
But then I got to play, and then of course Symphonia opened my mind, and then I played. The only ones I have not played, of course, is Tales of Legendaria and Tales of Grace, and I messed around with it. But when I'm talking about playing, I'm talking about playing like completion and beat the game because I've messed.
Yeah, exactly. I played with RPGs. You don't just play it. You can't say you played an RPG. You have to. If you played an RPG, that means you beat it.
Yeah,
that's how I view it.
Yeah, I have not played. I have not beaten Tales of Zillia or Zillia.
Zillia, yeah, I haven't messed with Zillia yet. I have to play that and Tales of Abyss.
Yeah, Tales of Abyss.
I'm playing Tales of Heart R on my PSP Vita right now.
Okay, now Heart R and also Grace, those are tricky because I have a bad stance about that because Namco Bandai left a bad taste to me with that because it was released on the Wii and they could have released it on the Wii in America, but it didn't. So I don't. That's a taste in my mouth. I'm like, really, guys?
Oh, see that I did not know, and you just further remind me to the messed up bias. For me, though, I will say the translation for Hearts R is horrendous.
Okay.
For someone who actually knows some Japanese, I can't tell you how many times I'm like, that is not what they said. Like sometimes I just ignore the text and I just listen to what they're saying. Because if I read the text, I'll just get mad.
Got you. I can see that. I can see like right now, me and my sister, we're playing Project Cross Zone 2. and there's a character in there who's blatantly, and it is set up to do that. So it's not like they did it. It was like a messed up translation. They did it spitefully, and it's a character who speaks Japanese broken and English. And my sister's like, she drives me crazy. And she's a bad guy.
Mm,
But it was set up to be that way. That's my point. It was not like it was because the whole thing is in Japanese.
yeah.
I mean, so it was because the character is from America, and she came over to Japan, and one of Jamun's like, who's this crazy girl with that broken Japanese? We know you American.
They do that in anime every now and again. It's like they just speak this, and they purposely make them speak the most jacked up English you've
Yes.
ever heard. And you're like, oh no. Your Japanese is garbage, and your English is garbage. Just please go sit in the corner.
Yeah, so I understand where you're coming from, but nah, that's what Tail those are the ones that hurt me the most in that regard. Like, you have the game, you could have ported it. It was built on this console, and you brought it to the West, and you could have ported it there with your game. That I don't like that kind
And
of messed up like
I
that.
think that's why I've become such a Nintendo supporter, ironically. Because even though I've always played on Nintendo, I've kind of always played on Sony and dabbled with Microsoft. But because I've seen so much negativity towards Nintendo, which makes no sense, it pisses me off and I feel compelled. I know there's no point to a grown man defending a multi-billion-dollar corporation, but I still feel compelled to at least correct what I hear is wrong.
Well, I mean,
And I see all the time that they just get done dirty for no reason. Like, I've seen games, and this is a good example, created on one platform, but yet it's ported on every other platform and never makes it to the States. And I'm like, what? Wasn't
well,
that one the Dragon Quest Heroes or whatever it was?
Dragon.
I forgot it was. Square did it too recently. There was a game that they did on the Wii in Japan, but it never made it to the States.
Oh well, yeah, Dragon Quest 10 is on a Wii U. It's not in the States.
Yeah, that's just one small example, but there are times where they literally create some. I'm trying to think of one. I don't know if you know it.
Here's what I would say.
It's create. Go ahead.
Here's the two of them. Okay, Tails is one of them. The next one is Nuni Kuni. Nuni Kuni was created on a 3DS in Japan,
That's the
and
that's the one I was.
they ported it over here, put it on the PlayStation 3, which is cool. Again, the bad thing is I don't care if it goes to other platforms. Unlike certain people, what happened last week, I don't care for that. But if it was created on one platform, why you
It
put
should at least be on that platform at the bare minimum.
yeah, on the other side of the world? That's the part that kills me. That's what.
Yeah, that I don't know who makes these decisions, but this BS needs to stop.
Dude, we know it. Sometimes it don't make sense at all with a lot of stuff. Let's.
It's like the person who made that baby monkey whatever commercial that still traumatizes people to this day for the Super Bowl. I, that was one of the few times in my life as a grown man, and I can tell right now, I've seen stuff. I've literally seen people ripped apart. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not proud of it. I'm just
Yeah.
saying I've seen some messed up stuff.
Mhm.
And that commercial had me like, what the hell am I looking at?
Baby puppy
Like
monkey.
my brain took a pause because I was like, why? What? Why?
Baby puppy monkey.
Yeah, it's like I get it. It's kind of funny in a weird way, but it's more disturbing than funny.
No, they did when they did the Super Bowl ad meter thing, whatever. That was like second to last because people hated that thing.
Yeah. All right, I'm about to mute for a second because there's going to be a lot of background noise. I'm blending something.
Okay.
So I'm still listening. I just can't respond because it's going to be loud. Just give me about 30 seconds or so.
30 seconds.
A
You want the
minute.
mark.
All right, cool. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, this is gonna be one of the craziest one-on-ones I have. The Good Shepherd never. I thought Andre would be crazy because I know what Red's gonna be like. I thought Andre's gonna be like this, but because he also these guys are fathers, and to play their games, like I said, I got mad respect for you guys who can play your games and take care of family and do stuff like that, and including Andre. He has several kids, and man, again, I like I said, props off to you guys. Shadow Fox as well too, who's also a father. Like, you guys could do this stuff. I hope. I mean, I kind of have it in a way that when I was growing up, I took a look at my I did the same thing for my sister. Like, most of my games that I bought when I was in America, I sat down to my sister and that she played, and I'm very surprised in a way, but I'm happy that she has her own taste in games now. So it's not like I kind of control to say, hey, this is what it is, whatever. She goes.
Guys, you brainwashed her.
What the hell? Well, she has her own taste in games and stuff like that, so it's not like, we live in the same house. Like I said, we play our certain games, but she's not a copycat of me, of course, because there's some games that she does that she's like awesome, like rhythm games. It's Game with Time, which I should be that good with it, but she outperforms me in those games. And oh man, and for me, but when it comes to like action combo based kind of games, I perform her in that.
There's nothing wrong with you sucking at music.
Yeah. Say what you want to say, sir. But
I always say what I want to say, regardless.
But that's one of the things. That's one of the things that I hope that I can say I have respect for you and Andre and everybody else who are fathers, who are family guys who got to take care of kids, but you don't have a little downtime and play some games and enjoy it. And maybe your kids.
Who told you I was a dad?
You're stupid. Like, who can't tell that from all the games that allows you hear your son in the background?
I don't know what you're talking about. You're making stories up.
Whatever.
There's no evidence of such things.
Whatever.
This world would implode if I have a child.
Yeah, whatever.
Prepare for implosion, bitches.
You're stupid. Yep, this is already gonna start to become random. ADD, all right. What the frick?
ADHD, get it right.
ADHD, yes sir, ADHD. But oh Lord. But like I said, I got props off for you guys for being, what should I always say? Fathers at large. When it's all you, Andre, him, whatever that's on the games at large.
Honestly, at this point, there's only like 2 of us that don't have kids. We're all family men.
Yeah, I want to say, I know Jay is not, and I know
there's only Jay, Jamie, and Jamie, Vicky, and oh wow, yeah, most of us are family. We have at least a kid.
Yeah. Speaking of that, you are one of the people. You're one of the people who helped start this community or joining this community, as most of these guys that I've looked up, and be part of, talking and talk about games. When did you guys started? Shout outs to Kwame and Chu, but when did you started to be about gamers at large?
Gamers at large for me, I think 2012. It was just after I got my Wii U.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to double check the timeline, but it's been at least 3 years and some.
Okay.
But I didn't start my channel with an actual videos for a long time. Like, I was just more. I'm still notorious for that. I'm trying to work on promoting my channel more. I'm the guest for so many podcasts. It's so.
Hey, that's why I'm promoting your channel here, buddy. That's why I'm promoting your channel right here. You to check out certain stuff on his channel. So you went with that, and then also basically, when did you start your channel?
I actually started my channel long before Gamers at Large. I just didn't post any videos till like maybe 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to look at my channel. I was more of I I used YouTube mostly for educational purposes, education and comedy.
Okay.
I loved listening to documentaries and learning about random stuff. I'm gonna lie to you, I've never been fond of school because I have such an erratic mindset. Teachers don't follow me. They don't get me, and they get frustrated when I learn something quickly without their proper instruction.
Oh, okay.
So I've had a lot of teachers. They're like they love me, but they hate me at the same time. So I've never really gotten along in school, but I loved learning. I've always loved learning. So I live for learning on YouTube. I listen to documentaries, but I admit it. I hate to admit it. I've gotten better over the years, but I've always had a bit of a negative mindset.
Uh-huh.
I've had a lot of pessimism in my life. So I try my best to make myself laugh. I need to laugh. Life, you need to learn to laugh at things. So I listen to a lot of comedy. And somewhere over the years, between documentaries and comedy, I started getting these little inspiration points and I started searching out more stuff, more motivational things, more things to be like, okay, there's a lot more to life than I thought there was. And it evolved from there. And somewhere along the lines, I came across Quan Manchu. He's actually the reason. He's
Okay.
the leader. He's I look up to him like a big brother at times. We talk to each other offline every now and again.
Okay.
He's a good dude, and he goes through his own. Like I'm not gonna put him out there, but he has his own battles to fight.
Yeah.
He's a
Great.
good dude.
Yeah, and I'm happy that like I said, I'm happy that he is the comes up. He came up with the gamers at large, and y'all come together and just again talk about games, talk about. I mean, some of you guys go beyond games, talk about movies and comics and everything else, which is cool because I know Vicky does. She does with her
Yeah,
fangirl.
yeah. Fangirl review. It's a great site. Y'all need to check it out.
Yeah.
She's cool people. She knows. She's not on our level because I'm pure awesome, but she's up there. She knows this stuff, and she's cool peoples, and she is she sees things from our viewpoint and other viewpoints as well. So anybody could come around and see what she has to offer, and they should find something they can enjoy.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, well, like I
I
said,
don't mean to promote a channel, but that's the truth.
no. You can promote. Dude, I'm not. Like I said, I'm. I'm not really. I am not really like care for that kind of stuff, man. You can promote who you want to promote. I'm not. This is for fun, dude. That's why I did my.
I know.
That's why I did my podcast before this. Before to thank everybody out there who comes to my channel. I mean, again, I'm just doing this for jokes and giggles and enjoyment. And
Which reminds me, Yoka Imperial green tea is one of the best green teas on the planet outside of matcha green tea. It's smooth, it's delicious, and has health benefits.
here comes the randomness, and like I said, this
Well,
is
you're talking about promotions, so I'll promote
you
something I
ain't getting no
like.
money. Okay, channel promotion, no
I'm,
problem. Production, you ain't getting no money from them.
I'm not doing this for money reasons.
I know
Okay,
that.
and that's another thing I want to point out. Nothing I do, except for when I finally put my book out, is for money. I'm here for the gamer. I'm a gamer for the gamers. But but I will be honest with you, as much as I love gaming, if you go to my channel, especially as time goes on, you're gonna see more life talk than game talk. You'll
Yeah,
see game talk, but I'm promoting life.
yeah, yeah.
That's why I'm called the Good Shepherd. I'm not the gaming shepherd. I'm the Good Shepherd. And there's a lot more to that I won't explain right now.
Oh well, yes. I see some questions in the question. I was going to ask you some question about that, so you might get an answer on that. I don't know.
Uh,
We'll see.
I'll try my best, but there's certain things I don't quite want to reveal. But we'll see based on what's going on.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, you do have one of the things. Like I said, me and Shepard have become good friends because of this community. That's why I say I don't care for making this. The benefits of me doing this for free and just getting some of my gamer thoughts out there is I met cool people like you, and we have become friends in real life, and we talk about issues and stuff like that. Like even on my, like I said, you're gonna be. Everything works out nicely. Hopefully down the year, you will be a part of my radio show, my on live real
Of
radio show.
course, dude, I'm pure awesome. Of course, you want me in your radio show. I'll make a radio show and help you take it to the top.
Oh, the arrogance. That is just so funny. That's why
It's
I
not
do.
arrogance, my good sir. I'm not saying I'm the greatest. I'm just implying that my potential for being the greatest is high, and you'll see it as time goes on.
Now you want to know why I call this the Caribbean cast, because all the Caribbean people got out there that bragginess. Look it up, people. If you ain't know what I mean. Cause we are braggadocious of all of us. Shout outs to my boy SK Massive. He knows what we talking about.
Wow, I haven't heard the word braggadocious in years.
We got SK Massive, Kwame and True. These guys also from the Caribbean, so they understand what we talking about. We one of these days, maybe later on this year, because everybody has so much stuff going on. We will and Triple M. We really will do a Caribbean cast.
Oh, it's inevitable. The Caribbean cast is preordained. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, it's preordained. Okay, basically that put it in there. And, I think Poppy's from Panama, so yeah, that'll be that. So it's Poppy, Triple M, Poppy, Triple M, Kwame and Chu, SK Massive, me and you, just West India Massive. But so but other than that, let's see. Get into more question stuff. What was one of the if you're still there, what is the one of the difficult games that you have beaten in your library?
One of the difficult games.
What is the most difficult game you have beaten in your library?
Mm, it's not Super Ghouls and Ghosts. It's not Contra. Uh, Tactics is surprisingly easy once you figure it out. Um, that's a tough call. I've had a few games that really put me through it, but I can't really consider what's the best. Well, technically, I never beat Contra 3. I needed assistance, so I need to. That actually makes me want to go back and play that. GS. Oh wait, he doesn't call himself anymore. Neo Neapolitan ice cream because I can't remember what his new name is.
KH, guess whatever, KH. Whatever.
Neapolitan KH ice cream beat beat it the other day, so I had to step my game up. I can't recall the hardest game I've beaten to date. I'll have to actually think about that. Because there's some games that I considered easy that people say is ridiculously hard and vice versa. It's the wonderful thing about being ADHD. Our mindsets are slightly different than normal people.
Okay,
Because I've been like Splatoon. I thought the last boss was ridiculously easy to me, but people's told me it's very hard.
well, yeah, it was easy, but if you like my sister, if you played with the amiibos, yeah, that's a ramped up difficulty. Trying to beat that boss with the splatter the sniper shot.
Oh, that reminds me. I need to finish the Amiibo challenge. I've been lazy with that. I'll have to
That
do that soon.
the roller ones, the roller one, yeah, I can understand. But the super shot one being DJ Octavio with that's okay. It takes a while to charge up, so you got to be on your point with doing that. And she did it. She did it. I was like, wow.
Okay. And that's some see, and this is proof because she's not that type of player, but Nintendo found a way to drag her into the gaming pool.
Oh
Well
yeah,
done, Nintendo.
yeah. She don't.
Well done.
She hates shooters, but this is what she like. Oh my god, this stuff.
Hell, I used to love shooters, and I kind of drifted off after Halo 2.
Oh,
This is the
okay.
first time in like almost what 8 years that I'm like, oh my god, and I can't put the game down. I mean, I don't play it all the time, but the game is so comfortable and easy to play. There are days I don't have time to play games, but I'll put 20 minutes aside to get like 4 or 5 matches in.
Wow, yeah, you better than me.
It's good stress relief. I go in, I wreck a couple of noobs, and then I get out. Sometimes I get my butt kicked. There was one time I was in a match full of. My problem is I play either early or late. So there's been times where I'll show up early in the morning and there's like seven level 50 Japanese players, and I'm like, oh my god, this is not gonna be fun. But it is fun in a way, cause I learn. Like what bothers me for a lot of, and maybe I could be wrong. Please correct me.
No.
Is people forgot what a challenge is. It's either too hard and they don't want to play it, or it's too easy.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
Okay, you're too cute. Go to bed.
See, you say what you.
No, it was so adorable. He's like, bye, daddy.
See?
Okay, I gotta mute because this is too cute. I'll be back in about a minute.
Go ahead, man. Go right ahead, man. All right, one of these days, look at myself, maybe I'll get a little bambito myself and open their minds to the world of gaming. Hopefully, not to the bunch of crap that's going on in YouTube side of gaming. Again, only a small minority of us really argues about this crap. Majority of people is offline themselves most of the time doing stupid stuff, but they're playing their games. And I wish a lot of people could just do that and stop trying to figure out everybody's step or whatever. Again, this console war stuff is just idiotic to me. Again, the only time I bring up, and again, I've said it in my, if you ain't listened to the podcast I had before, I only bring up sales when it comes to profitability. If any console make anything that's profitable, that means a good thing. Any console, any game that's profitable, then I'll say it. Now, if it got profitable by deceptive means with the whole DLC and microtransaction, all that stuff, I would call it out. But I would, you know what? I'll move on because, again, like I would like to. I am not gonna be. I would not be surprised to see what would EA make. Because if they made $900 million last year, with all the stuff with EA last year, I know for sure they might make about $1 billion this year, just through DLC and microtransactions alone. Again, because Star Wars is one. The Star Wars Need for Speed, Madden again, of course. So yeah, they're gonna. There's gonna be a FIFA again. Jeez, yeah, they're gonna be a juggernaut, of course. But you back or
No, I had to throw in a quick sigh.
had it done a quick.
I'm listening the whole time, for the record. I have never left the conversation. I just have to mute at times.
No, I got you. I understand that. I just want to make sure you know what it is, so I can ask the next question, and you can answer or not answer. Because
I'm almost done. Give me a few moments.
Okay. Well, and it looked like I said, I'm gonna have to I'll ask you basically a couple more questions, and then we'll go into questions.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm good. Little man got his bottle. We're straight.
Yeah, okay. So so let me. This one is a question that I'll let you ponder on. But before I get to the big questions, let me get to one thing. Like I said, me and you have been talking for a while now. We've talked. Like I said, we talked offline. In real life, we know each other and everything like that. Like you're basically a military person, but you've persevered to a lot of stuff. Because, like I said, just like you said about the whole being, poor to American standards, that way you were born, and you know where I come from and how poor my standards were to come up here. And I'm happy I made it. That's a miracle. Yeah. That's a miracle. But like I said, basically what I got attracted to your channel when you was talking about one of the things that you said, and it resonated with me, even though I said the same thing too, but it kind of like a kindred spirit, like I understand where you're coming from, was the knowledge stuff, like get out there and travel outside of America. Find, at least experience something outside of your city, your state, your country,
Oh yeah, because life, there's so much going on in life. There's so much things going on, and a lot of people, we get caught up in these narrow viewpoints. And one thing I strongly promote is you don't need to go all over the world, although I strongly say you should. But you need to at least leave your comfort area and go somewhere you've never been before, at least once or twice in your life. And I'm not talking if you live in America and then you go on a cruise to just Puerto Rico or the Caribbean. I'm talking if you live in America, go to like Europe, go to like Japan, go to China, go to Australia, go somewhere where you have to fly for at least a couple hours. At least once.
Okay.
Because the whole thing is we're so caught up in our own culture, we don't. in order for this is my viewpoint, and please feel free to correct me. But this is
Ah,
from my personal experience:
go right
is
ahead.
that life there's so much going on. There's so many different cultures to experience, and we tend to accidentally, or sometimes, well, actually, don't get me started on the conspiracies. Um, we, we tend to get mentally boxed in without even realizing it. So
Okay.
I've always been about at least being in contact with a different culture, being exposed to a different environment, and just seeing, because we tend to. How do I explain this? I've studied better in that cast you're talking about. I know exactly which cast you're talking about, actually.
Yeah.
Um, we're talking about just gaming in life, and we tend to get stuck in this narrow viewpoint.
Hmm.
And it's so easy to happen. Because the thing is, most people by nature, once we find something we're comfortable with, we stick with it. And there's nothing wrong with that per se. But if you truly want to grow, you have to every now and again reach outside of your comfort zone. And I've been guilty of that too, I admit. You need to experience different things at least every now and again. If you don't, you will stop growing. And once you stop growing, I'm gonna leave that alone. But you kind of know which direction I'm going with this conversation.
I got you. Well, I mean, like I said, I'm that same way too because you have. I mean, like I said, it's just when you experience certain things out there, you might be appreciative, and maybe you have a different understanding of why. Like one of the things, like
Well
when
said.
people when people was talking about the censorship thing and saying about why we come over here, this is gonna be censored. I'm like, it's because culture thinks differently. There's a reason why shooters never took off in Japan because that's not their style of that's not their style of games. Over here, blood and gore sells. Over there, it does not.
Oh, and that reminds me, and you made an excellent point. Because the whole thing is, a lot of people, we have a viewpoint on things, and we automatically assume your viewpoint is right. And maybe at times your viewpoint is right, but there are times where it's not. And you need to at least expand, like, you need to be open minded, because you may think one thing is right to you, but somewhere else it could be completely wrong. Now, I'm not saying that person's right or that person's wrong, but if you want a better understanding of life, you need to at least come across and experience different viewpoints and then make an assessment. Because if you lived a certain life your entire life, how can you honestly have an objective viewpoint on anything else? If you haven't at least attempted to see somebody else's viewpoint, like if you grew up rich, you've never been around poor people outside of the occasional bump into them. I mean, how could just looking at books or watching the TV or a news report about poor people is not going to give you a better understanding of them. There's a different viewpoint. There's a certain level of surviving that they learn along the way. I'm not really portraying myself correctly, unfortunately, but I think you know what I'm trying to portray. I don't know if our listeners are.
Nah, again, no. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is the best example to them understand what we're talking about is the censorship thing. Like, because there are some sex acts and sex exploits in Japan that would never work in America.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Never.
my God. Exactly. Because,
No.
and that's another thing. If you're exposed to something for long periods of time, of course you're going to see things a certain particular way. And so I'm saying it's like here's an example.
All right.
Um, America is more comfortable seeing somebody's head blown off than seeing a woman's nipple. This is a fact.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, no, no. You're right.
It's interesting how we've become desensitized to certain things and overly sensitive to other things. And it's all based on cultural experience. Because alcohol is another thing. Like one small, and I could be corrected, but my lady pointed this out to me, and I've kind of seen it for a while, although there's variations on this.
Mm.
Um, in the Caribbean, and a lot of places I go to, We often celebrate with drinks. We eat
Yeah,
food too, but we celebrate with drinks, a cheer, whatever.
yeah,
And a lot of times I've come across here in America, we celebrate by eating. I mean, we'll drink too while we're eating, but it's by eating. We go out to a restaurant to eat. Have you not noticed that America is the most obese on the planet?
it is. Even our poorest people are more obese than
Yeah, exactly.
here's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. The one everybody always in America always argue about the 1%. You know, basically, if you're in America, even if you're poor, you are the 1% in the whole world. You're the
Yeah,
top 1%.
poor people in America live better than a majority of anybody else.
Well, that was no, but you
Like,
are. But like I said, if you here in America, you live in America here, you are in the top 1 percentile of the whole world.
oh yes, yes, oh yes, you're right. I forgot about that. There was some statistics done. I forgot how many years ago, but it was proven that even poor people in America are considered in the 1 percentile on the planet.
Yeah, because you got a
This is
lot
a
more stuff.
fact.
You got a lot more stuff to than what other people have. You ain't hunting your food or worrying about no poisonous snakes or any creatures or somebody trying to cut your head off or all kind of other stuff. You might have the little
Hmm.
gangsters, thugs, and all that stuff over here, but again, like I put in my video, put in one of my videos talking about how these selfish gamers they try to say about I'm a gangster, whatever. Trust me, the most dangerous thug and gangster, whatever in America ain't got nothing against a 10-year-old in Somalia who knows
Oh
how to
yeah,
who knows how to rock an AK-47. You don't
they
even know
will
that.
take you out and then remove your body, and they will find no trace of you.
Yeah,
No trace.
so I
And
mean,
that and see, and that goes back to the perspective again. We complain about all these things, but we don't realize how good we really got it. Oh, exactly. That's where the whole conversation spawned from.
yeah,
Now,
okay,
thank you. Now I remember. Okay. And that's why I say go around the world. I mean, at the very least, you understand different cultures and you also learn to appreciate what you have and what you don't have.
sure.
You'll be surprised how blessed you are. I mean, I'm not particularly religious personally, but I respect religion to a certain degree.
But you gonna say
I
blessed.
grew up in the church, so
Yeah, but you gonna say blessed without being having a religious quotation because you are blessed that I mean, coming from where coming again, we come from the Caribbean, but when I was poor, I had to walk miles I had to walk miles to get clean buckets of water and walk right back. I didn't have no bathroom until I was like maybe about 7 years old. We didn't have no indoor plumbing. I mean, none of that junk. We didn't have none of that stuff at all.
well, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was a little bit better off than you in that regards. I had indoor plumbing. I won't lie there. But I will say there's been times we have barrels and we collect the rainwater and all that other crap
well,
and boil
well,
it and but
we did
I've
that too in our
never
country. We did that in our country, but what we had was like now in my country now when you build houses, you have to have a cistern. That's part of the building codes.
oh okay,
But
cool, cool.
back then, basically what happened was, which was the government was good. And the sad part is back then government was good, and now it's crappy. But in my country, just as much as America, but like every village had like a place where they had a big tank that did collect the rainwater. But you had to walk again. But I was like I said, it depends on which part of the village it is. So I had to walk like three
Gotcha.
miles and put our water in a bucket and walk 3 miles back up to the house and put it
Nah,
in a
wow.
barrel and walk back down again.
I wasn't that bad. I was that at least that I was more fortunate. Ironically, I was not. I was when I came to the states. I was the ghetto, and I don't know the ghetto you've come across, and there's different ghettos out there, but
Got you.
I've literally seen ride-bys. No, 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 no. This is what I need to clarify because people take that the wrong way. I didn't say drive by. I said ride by, as in a bicycle. Pedal, pedal, pedal. Pause. Pow, pow, pow. Pedal, 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 pedal. I've seen that
Wow.
several times. I've seen
Wow.
crackheads take a dump literally in front of my door. And
Wow.
if you don't know what dump means, I mean
Oh,
defecate. And if you
yeah.
don't know what defecate means, it means take a poop. If you don't know what poop means,
Okay, okay. I think they
take,
got that. And you know what? If you wanna go there, you can go to San Francisco. That happens in San Francisco too. And they let that happen for some weird ass reason that you could defecate any place in the city. I don't know why, for some reason, but that's we got the
all
point.
I know is,
We got the
yeah.
point.
Point is, I've
That's
done battle with cockroaches for my meal.
but that is but that is one of the reasons. That is one of the reasons. When I remember back when I first came on the Games at Large, when it was a Wednesday, whatever, and you and Jay was like, "Okay, all right, kids, enjoy what we have right now. When you get done," that's why I said to you guys was like, "Forget that. I'm happy to be adult because where I came from, and where I'm to this day, I'm proud. I'm enjoying it,
Well, yeah,
but
this is
but I work
different.
my ass off
It's
though.
yeah, there's a balance to everything. Like I admit it. Like I had a 2600 Atari. That's back then. I was considered filthy rich in my neighborhood to own a 2600. My cousin had a Nintendo. That was unbelievable. So I mean, but at the same time, there's pros and cons. Point is, we all go through our own trials and tribulations. There's things you've been through that I can't even fathom, and vice versa. I
Yeah.
mean, I was 10 years old and I saw somebody's face get blown off. Somebody tried to take over Trinidad. There was a coup back in 1990. My little
Oh,
sister almost got shot right in front of me.
okay.
So I've seen things, and people have seen things too. Like, I can tell you all day about the bad stuff I've been through, but I'm sure there's somebody out there listening that's been through worse than myself.
Yeah, but also
Life is life. There's good and bad.
and you know what, and bring it back to this right here, like that's why like I said, that's why if we everybody has their own life, so why we want to, and again, this in society inflects into the gaming industry is what it is, right? Excuse me, right now. But again, that's why I'm not gonna get caught up in a lot of these drama film stuff that a lot of people do, and like I said, and have gaming is a basically, as
It's
what Shadow said, is a $60 ticket to just get away from life. That's what it
yeah,
is.
and exactly. And why? I mean, I get it. It's upsetting when things go wrong in gaming. I get that. But why are you gonna let the bitterness ruin the one thing you're doing that is supposed to bring you joy? I mean, this is supposed to be a fun hobby.
Yeah.
So all this pointless bickering, it drives me up the wall. It's like, why are you doing this? I'm like, do you want to be upset? Is that what it is? Because if you're a gamer, you should be seeking out fun and enjoyment.
That's one of the reasons. That's why I say when people tell me stuff, I say, "Hey, I don't buy bad games because I buy games where after I do my research, I buy what I like and I enjoy it." Sorry,
Yeah,
that's
I
just
mean,
me.
granted, I've had a few flops, but I still enjoy my games. Like I bought Street Fighter 5 Day One, the collector's edition. It's
Hmm.
supposedly a huge flop. Do I personally enjoy the game? I will admit there's a lot missing. There's a whole lot missing. It's a fail. But
I
I have so much games to play, and I heard eventually it's gonna get patched. I'm not sweating it. I'm not gonna get me getting pissed off is not gonna accomplish anything except me looking like some little irate little tard. I'm not saying it's cool. I'm just saying I'm not gonna get myself riled up over nothing. I have better things to do.
got you.
I've
But
wasted more money at a club. Well, not recently.
I was gonna
I've
say,
wasted more money at a club partying than I paid for that game in one night.
yeah.
So
People need to put certain things in perspectives too, to go all crazy. Like I said, I have no problem people buying the game. Like I said, you do your research. If that's what it is, my thing always comes down to it's your money.
exactly,
Why would I tell you how to do with your money?
and the whole thing is this: you made a choice. Whether it was a foolish choice or not, you still made that choice. I'm not saying it's okay for this stuff to happen, but as much as you can get mad at the developer, you should also be mad at yourself because you
Cause
had the option not to buy it.
yeah, yeah.
Let's just be real.
No, you're right.
Before you get mad at the developer, unless the developer blatantly lied to you,
Hmm.
there's no reason for you to get mad. Like as much as Capcom has pissed me off, they were relatively upfront with the Street Fighter Five at least. I personally think they should have delayed it and added more content, but that's a different conversation.
Got you.
I'm not
Got you.
apologizing for Street Fighter Five. It's a complete debacle.
Yeah,
I'm just
my
saying you were warned, and you know Capcom's history. I was foolish enough to go along, but I'm not sweating it. You should have just waited. Real talk.
got you. Hey, I said
And
the
if you
same.
have any complaints, look for Lager of Enduo. He'll take all of that for you.
Whatever. Well, before let me ask this one more question before we go into a bunch of questions and see if we can run this thing down. Basically, the last question is, what is your, and this is it, for real, your true opinion. Your true opinion. I don't care what it is. What is your opinion of the eighth generation?
Um, it's a debacle. Honestly, except for a few hiccups, the only one who's come even remotely close to fulfilling any of the promises I've come across was Nintendo. PlayStation 4 and Xbox have so many lies, so many incomplete games, so many scams, and it's just sad. Like looking on all the gaming over the years, it's just like and I go lie to you, part of what's saving the Wii U for me personally is one is backwards compatible, and I've never had a Wii, so there's plenty of games for me to play from the Wii, and Virtual Console. But
Hmm.
even then, Wii U has given me quality titles that's worth playing. PlayStation 4,
I mean, you have
games are
some on the
pretty.
PlayStation 4. You have some on PlayStation
I,
4
I
like, yeah.
yes, there's some decent games. I'm not saying it's garbage. I like my PlayStation 4, but it's not. I would pick my PlayStation 2 is way better than my PlayStation 4. Let me put it that way.
No, yeah, it's your honest opinion. That's what I'm asking for. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
The Generation 8 is a disappointment. Real talk, it is. I'm hoping it gets better, but honestly, the only one who's come close to satisfying me as a gamer is the Nintendo Wii U.
Hey.
It's a fact.
Nah, again, I'm asking you, bro. You say what you gotta say. Again, don't, like I said, I
I
don't care
keep
what
it
anybody
real.
else say. Thank you.
I just hate it because I try my best. I'm trying my best to be objective. Like people are like, "Oh, you're just a Nintendo fan."
Well,
I kind of been playing. No. I would just want to clarify this one point.
okay.
I am a fan of gaming. Like people are like, "Oh, you're just a Nintendo fan." No, I play everything. I'm not so much a Microsoft Xbox fan, but I still play that a little bit. I play on everything because I love gaming. But based on my keep in word, listen to my words. My personal preference and the gaming I've played over the years, it's the games are either mediocre, overpriced, or if the game is remotely good, you have to pay a ton of money on DLC and all this other nonsense, which is not necessary. I rather pay for a game being slightly expensive, but I get all the content, than have to be nickel and diming me the whole time. I'd rather pay for a collector's edition of a game for $80 with all the DLC than to buy a game for $60 and then I pay $5 here, $10 here, $20 for a season pass. I'm like, this is not an MMO. MMO, I get it. You usually pay like a monthly fee or a yearly fee or whatever. This is not an MMO. This is, and I'm like, maybe I guess part of it's they're just desperate to make money because most of these companies are going down. This is fact. Look it up.
Yeah.
A lot of these companies are going down and they're desperate to stay afloat. And they have no problem nickel and diming their customers. You know why? Because we let them do it.
Hmm.
One thing I have to say that I do agree with Liger is speak with your wallet. Your actions, your choices affect the industry. If you don't like something, don't buy it. But if you buy a product and complain about it, they're like, oh, if you buy a product and complain about it, they'll listen to you. Yeah, you're partially right. But if you buy a product, that tells them that the product is worth buying, and they will put out more BS along those lines as well. Am I wrong?
No, no. Like I said, that's
By purchasing the product, you're telling the developers, okay, people are willing to buy it. So that means there's a good chance that they could put out similar mediocre products and people will still buy it.
yeah. I
So
mean,
if you see something mediocre, don't buy it. Speak with your wallet.
well, I guess for me, it's like if you're gonna look, you could buy a game like me. I bought Tales of Zestiria. I didn't pre-order it. I know what was going on about it. It doesn't say I didn't say I enjoyed the game, but I was not gonna buy the DLC and pre-order because I thought that when the pre-orders and that was crap. So I mean, I'm not gonna buy the extra content if I don't think it's worth the dollar, or like you said, like if it's was for the, it should have been there day one and blah 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 stuff like that. But still, it's you again. Your wallet speak with it, and the best way to stop something is to not buy it. That's the best way, because they ain't gonna listen to anything like just like the Good Shepherd just said. And I mean, I would say that because you're one of the, you and Grim Pacho are one of the people like made me take a second look at it. Because not only you sit with the Wii U or whatever, you have your Vita,
Yep.
and
I enjoy my Vita. There's things wrong with it, but the system itself actually has potential. They just didn't support it properly. There's a lot of good content, and the system itself is a beast.
yeah, and they got a lot of exclusive games on there that
Yeah,
I'm looking at to like okay,
especially if you love RPGs or fighting games.
yeah. When I'm ready to go buy that game, but buy that console, I know a couple games I already got in my mind to say, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna pick up this game and that game and this game. That's what it. That's for me how I look at it. Like I gotta see a bunch of games that make me say I want to pick up the console, not one, not two,
Exactly.
but maybe like a
And
good.
that's and you brought up a great point. Sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Well, and this is people are so caught up on sales, and I get it to some extent, but at the end of the day, it's up to your personal enjoyment. It doesn't matter if the system is popular or not. Does the system have what you want? Did it put out like the PSP Vita is considered dead in the States. I've already picked up 6 games for it that I thoroughly enjoy, and there's at least 8 more games I'm gonna pick up. That's
Mm-hmm.
14 games there.
Yep.
14 games I could pick up, play, and enjoy, and most of these games I could play repeatedly. There are people
Mm.
who buy a system and only have 4 games for it for the whole cycle.
I ain't doing that.
This is a fact.
Yeah,
It's
and
a sad
that's it,
fact.
and I'm not doing that.
If
You know?
you get enjoyment out of a game system, that's all that matters. No,
Mm.
I would advise you to at least buy a couple games. But at the end of the day, if you buy just one game and you truly enjoy it, then you enjoy it. Because we buy games for our own enjoyment, not for others. It's like Shadow Fox says,
Exactly. I
Shadow
was gonna
Fox
say.
Infinite.
Yeah.
Do you buy games to for fun, or do you buy games to impress people? I said it wrong, but you get the gist.
That's what he
It's sad.
said.
I
He
should
flipped
I
it.
should know it by heart by now.
But yeah, you got the gist, and that's what he says. Do you buy games for fun or do you buy games to impress people? He is what he says. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
and
it's like I buy games for fun. I've always had playing games for fun. Like I love my games so much. I've only returned one game in my entire life. One.
right on, brother.
I've never sold any of my games. If I get rid of a game, it's because I gift it to family members or loved ones.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I if I'm missing a game, it's because I lost it for whatever sad reason, or it got destroyed. I buy a game because I enjoy the game. I have games I bought over 10 years ago I could turn around right now and play and still love every moment of it. Enjoy your hobby. This is for fun. It's not for anybody else but you. Hopefully you could talk about it and enjoy it with other people, but you have to remember we play games to have fun. Weird concept, I know.
And also,
I
we
just want
play.
to
No, you're
pound it
right.
in
No,
there
you're right.
because
Concept. And remember, we play video games, not console games. We forget the console wars. 'Cause that's the only reason I bring up sales figure is
oh,
because for a point of as long as the company makes profit, that means more games. That's all.
oh, and while we're on this topic, I have to point this out. I've said it on other things, but I don't know if I've ever said it on your channel.
Okay.
Let's be honest with ourselves. Video games is a sophisticated toy. This is a toy. They may have E-rated or R-rated or G-rated or PG-rated or Peggy 16 or whatever. These are toys. Get over yourself. The people are like, oh, you do this and listen. These are sophisticated toys that we enjoy. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with playing with toys. I know it sounds weird, but there's nothing wrong with it. They are grown men and women who put together figures or construct airplanes that they could fly, like those little jet planes and stuff or cars.
Yeah.
It's just a fun hobby. Stop worrying about what people may think about you. As long as you're not harming anybody, enjoy yourself. Because I think people something like, well, I play games, but I play manly games and blah blah blah. And I no, you're playing games to have fun. Stop caring what anybody else thinks about you. It's how you think about yourself. If you have that much problems about how people view you, you need to stop playing games and start taking a closer look at who you are.
Amen.
That's just real talk.
Real talk.
And if I hurt your feelings, guess what? Tough shit. Talk to me and we could have some conversations.
Oh, nah, that is good.
Live, learn, and grow, peoples.
Exactly. That's good advice right there. So right now, let's get into these questions, and hopefully I'll try to run through as fast as I can. So first up is our boy Addison Archilla.
He's awesome. I like that dude. He's really smart, very insightful with things.
Yes. Could I get some help with a Metroid? Oh, basically, actually, that question is mostly, can I get a help with a Metroid essay I'm going to write? Anyone want to write an essay for a series or two in a turn? Well, I mean, I have no problem helping you since that's my favorite franchise, Anderson. I have no problem helping you do that. Hopefully, my schedule could be allotted for you to do that, but I have no problem doing that for you, dude.
I gotta finish the trilogy. I hate to admit it, but I haven't completed it. But I bought the trilogy the other day, so I'll get to that eventually. Sorry.
No, it's cool. It's cool. That one really more. Let me see.
I already know that was directed towards you because everybody knows you're a Metroid fan.
Yeah. I know, and of course you have. I'm making sure because I'm trying to get to the ones that's like more questions and stuff because I have also comments in him because look, I understand one thing about like I don't put the chat the live chat up and stuff like that because most of the time, not even most of the time, majority of the time when I'm on a podcast with people, I'm on a playing games or like right now with you, like I'm looking at stuff, but I'm not really looking at it. It's just like I'm doing stuff just to keep the conversation going. That's just me. I don't look at the screen. That's why sometimes when people's like I see people like with the random talks and stuff, like I got the screen's already in the what do you call it? In the you call it the screensaver mode. So
okay.
so I'm not watching it. So I'm just talking and I'm hearing you guys talk and I talk. So then I see questions. Then basically when I'm coming close to the end, and if I go to the question, I'm like, oh man, this person said, oh man, I wanted to join the podcast. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm just like I said, I don't really watch the screen, and I don't. So with that regard, I don't. That's why I don't activate the online chat because I just I just don't do that. I got so much things going at the same time around me. So like I said, because Lupus was like like if I played the GameCube in Dolby Pro Logic 2, you know how mind blowing surround sound is. Example: the Holy Trinity, Star Fox, Metroid Prime, Eternal Darkness. Yes, I do know. That's what I look. It was
yes.
It was
well said.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. Well said. He's right.
Yeah, Julian Egbert again. One of the interviews that IGN did, which is again one of the ones that they talked about, and for some mind probably forget what that interview was. He was one of the guys. He's the guy who did the most of the sound card engineering for the GameCube, and he did a great job. Because when you play Road Squadron, you felt that the
oh my
the
god!
sound effects.
Yeah, you feel like you're in the game. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah, when that game came out at that time, when we were playing it at that time, hell yeah! And he did a good job of doing the sound chipping and development for that system. And man, I mean, I like that. I love that. That's so yes. When you have look, when people take the time to develop a game and look at what this game console can do and create the game they want in their mind, you get great games no matter what the console is. You get great games, but they need to take the time to do it and stop trying to rush everything or port things sloppily. That's my thing with developers and publishers that I don't like.
Agreed. Oh my goodness. I blame us because well, not me and you in particular, but I blame us as a society.
Yeah.
We've become so instant. Everything is instant gratification, so our patience has gone way down.
Yep.
What people don't realize is that if you just wait a few months, sometimes hell, even a year, you can get a far better product.
Yeah. No, I'm just
Get
like
a
I said.
far better product, but we're so oh, we need it now, and then we get it now, and now we're upset that the game is garbage. I'm like, well, if you would have waited, the game would have been fine.
Yeah. And that's
But
on my side. That's why I come down on the publishers and the develop side the most because again, if you could, when the whole thing when I talk about the Unreal Engine thing, you can get Unreal Engine to run on the Unreal Engine 4 to run on the Wii U. You can, and people could do it. And they got a couple games coming out that have that with the Eagles game with Bloodstone and all that stuff. But it's not even that. It's just like you can get that engine to run, but that's not the superior. Two things. One, that's not the superior engine on the Wii because Nintendo, when they developed their game, like Mario 3D World, that came out in 2012 or 13. I want to make sure. Was it
it
12?
should be 2012.
2012?
It should be, yeah. When did the Wii U come out? 2011? At the end of 2011, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it did. So then 2000, it came out in 2012, like November, I think. It was just
Uh,
around Black Friday time frame.
yeah, I mean, yeah, 3D World. I mean, but I like to be. I don't want to tell people negative stuff. I don't do my own research. Yep, you are right. 2000 November 2013. Yes, yes, that's where it came out.
Oh, 13. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
So
13.
then Wii U came out 2012 then, because it
Yeah.
was like almost a whole year gap.
Yes. That engine, if you put it on a bench test to see what it does graphically and what it could put up and everything, that engine also has 4K textures in it, outperforms Unreal Engine 4. But people just think of pretty graphics and that's about it. So these are the things. These are two things that like I said, if you take the time to build a game from the ground up, you can make an awesome game. You can make an awesome game no matter what the platform. Because again, PlayStation 4 has the power, but Ultimate 3D, I mean, keep on saying 3D, Ultimate Tetris couldn't run on PlayStation 4. That's a joke. That's lazy developing. That's lazy work. And that shows power don't mean jack squat without optimization. That game does that a Tetris game, a simple block game, dropping blocks and everything, can't run on a PlayStation 4. Doesn't mean that PlayStation 4 is garbage. It means that the developers did a bad job.
Okay, let's be real for a moment.
Okay.
The PlayStation 4 was not ready to come out. It wasn't. I mean, please, if you can prove me wrong,
No, I ain't gonna
please,
prove you
please
wrong.
feel free to
I'm
correct me.
laughing at what you said. Dude, I'm not saying nothing at all.
No,
Can I
no, no.
laugh?
I'm just saying. I'm the whole thing is I have no problem being proven wrong, but you need to provide me with a source. Like that's how I say it. Like I admit I make mistakes. I say things wrong on occasion, but I understand. And that's another thing about life. And this is I preach this strongly because we're so stubborn as a society. I personally hate being wrong, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Tell me, and vice versa. It's all about that's part of growing. So
Conversation.
my whole thing is,
Yeah.
yeah. So you got to go back and forth. Sometimes you're wrong. Like you proved me wrong the other day. With I forgot and I got lazy about it. The Wii U, there's no real install. I forgot about that because I'm so used to I played safe. When they say load the game now, I'm like I want it to run whatever it's supposed to run before I play the game. Better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
I've gotten into that habit because there's times with my PlayStation I chose that option and it bit me in the butt and the damn game froze. So I assumed it was the same thing, but looking back, I went back on my Wii U and I looked at my data again. I'm like, oh, there was no real install.
No,
And you proved me wrong live, and I get it. There's nothing wrong with that. I was wrong.
it's a and what Shepard is talking about is basically is a check to make sure that you don't have a broken that
Pirated.
you pirated the game, and also that the Wii U is picking up all that stuff because that's why it's online. That's why you get all these updates, and every console does this. Don't let nobody, a certain person, I'm not calling names, tell you that that don't happen. Every console do a check to make sure that you didn't hack your console. Everyone.
Oh
So you
yeah.
see
Oh yeah.
all these updates that don't do
Especially
nothing. That's what it does.
this, and that's another thing. DRM is real. It's already here, and people did try to deny it. I'm like, dude, have you not paid attention? The PlayStation 4. I have a PlayStation 4. I don't have an Xbox One, but I saw how my friends play the Xbox One. I'm eventually gonna get one of those, maybe, because now I'm looking at the Windows
Line up.
10. I might just change that, but I'm still thinking about an Xbox One for now. But these games are essentially just keys, digital keys, because you buy these discs, and guess what? You have a massive download right off the bat.
Mm.
Think about that. They're like, oh no, well, they're not doing that anymore. They're not doing DRM. Okay, so then why is it that your disk is essentially useless?
Yeah,
You
you
buy a
can't.
game and then some 20, 30, 40, 80, 90 gigabytes is downloaded. Okay, so then why do you have a disk if you have such a massive download? I
Yeah,
mean, come on, just think about that, folks.
again, critical thinking is not happening in this society now. I'll tell you that right for sure.
And that's why I became such a strong Nintendo advocate. I love gaming and I play everything, but let's be real. Out of all the console makers now, Nintendo treats us better as customers. We have free internet, which we don't have to pay any subscription nonsense like the other ones. We have better, and they're like, oh well, we got better quality. Okay, your better quality gets hacked how many times now? My free system has yet to be hacked. Just saying.
And the security for your, like I said again, if you want to take my credit card off of my Wii U, you have to hack my console. You ain't hacking no servers. You gotta hack my console. So good luck finding that console out of all the 12 million Wii users worldwide to hack my
It's not
stuff.
13 million, but I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I just that in that regard, yes, and it's just like I'm just saying that like I said, installers that everybody has it, but again, we digress from that
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
But
yeah. My
yeah,
my whole thing is I have no problem if you talk bad about anything. Just be factual. If you're gonna
exactly.
talk smack about any system, make sure you back up the facts.
Well,
Like
yeah, because when
I fight with my friends sometimes because they talk smack about my beloved Port Station 4. And they usually
I
they
know,
usually and I prove them wrong somewhat, but we go back and forth.
yeah,
But it is what it is. At least we're sticking to the facts. But
yeah,
then people talk smack about the Wii U, and 95% of what they come out their mouth isn't even true.
yeah. Because Mike, I mean,
So
like I said, I'm like you, Chef, because I remember, like I said, I bought it stuff like I did something up there with Mike, Double M, and he was right, and I went back to the other podcast I had with him, the other endcast, and said, "Yo, Michael was right," and I said it because I have no problem being proven wrong either. If I don't know every single thing about it, just like you said, bring your facts, but if you wanna challenge me, come on up. Like I said, this one-on-one thing is for helping people to promote their channels, but I have no problem. We go one-on-one and we talk. But every time I put that up, though, a lot of people run away for some weird reason. But I digress.
well, the whole thing is most of the troublemakers in our communities are cowards, and they know they're not telling the truth most of the time. So facts is a very scary thing. What they usually do, and I've seen it. Shadow Fox is a great example of that too. People talk a ton of smack around him, but when they come against him personally, all that smack talking disappears. But then once they're away from him, they get louder than ever, talking all kinds of nonsense,
Of course.
calling him a pseudo intellectual and other stuff. I'm like, this dude is certified. What certifications do you have?
I still remember that video. That's funny as hell. That is funny as
It's like,
heck.
oh, I'm attacking all these pseudo intellectuals. Get your pseudo retarded because you are pseudo retarded. You're not fully retarded because you can clearly talk a little bit, but you are retarded.
Oh God.
I'm not calling out your name. I'm not starting any mess. I'm just saying,
No,
let's be real.
I
If
know,
you're
I
gonna
know.
talk trash, be. My whole thing is be accurate.
I got you.
That's all I'm saying. If
Yeah,
don't talk out the side of your face.
I know, right? All right, let's go back to we got Ye Yao saying, speaking of Dragon Quest 10, has Nintendo ever approached Square about localizing the game? I don't. That's a here you go. That's a question. I do not know. I really do not know. I
I
can't
don't
say.
know.
I don't know
I
the
hope
answer
they
to that.
do.
Yes. So yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, have Nintendo done it before? Yeah, but for that specific game, I don't know because just as we brought the whole thing with Namco Bandai with the whole the Tales of Grace, like it, it was made on our platform, and you can look and you localized it, but you couldn't put it on our platform in the West. Again, that's just the
It makes
makes
no sense.
exactly.
But hey, Yin Yang Yao, although I'm sure Liger can probably confirm or deny this. Square has become more buddy buddy with Nintendo, so you never know in the
Yeah,
future.
Square Japan has
Well,
really,
yeah, Square Japan specifically.
yeah,
That's true. Let's clarify.
yeah.
Square Japan.
Yeah, they look. Square Japan know that 60% of the sales, game sales, is on one console, on two consoles, 3DS and the Wii U.
It's about damn time they figured that out, dumbasses. Sorry, I
Again,
just had to say
I
that.
know, and again, for anybody out there who look, I will. I wanted to put this in the video. I'll put this in the video too. Look, PlayStation 4 is not the dominating force in Japan. Okay,
Oh, they're doing horrible in Japan.
the one thing that keeping the PlayStation is not making, and I'm gonna do this video about breaking down the sales of the $60 where the money really goes to, but the PlayStation 4, all it basically makes a barely profit from the console, and also the licensing fees for the game and everything.
Oh my God. Yeah, they're
That's
not
it.
they're not making really anything
The one thing.
between. Go
Go ahead.
ahead.
Oh, I
No,
was
no, no. You're more accurate with this breakdown than I am,
I
so
was
go
gonna
for it,
say the
sir.
one thing, and I've showed it on my video. The thing that's keeping PlayStation brand name, other not the name itself, but that part of PlayStation up is PlayStation 3. Why do you think there's so many games coming out for PlayStation 3 still? Because the install base is too great that the developers do not want to leave that. They don't want to leave the PlayStation 3. All these games, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, Persona 4, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3.
Well, they're trying to move away from that though.
No,
Trying.
yeah, try. The right word is trying because you. That's why Kaz is telling these guys, hey, can you go to PlayStation 4 because we want more? Nah, it's just because. But the publisher's like, screw you, man. We still got PlayStation 3 money. That's what we want. So
Hmm.
just like that's how it
Well,
works that
well,
way.
they're a bunch of cowards because they're most of these companies are going down the tubes. Let's be real. So
Yeah,
they're grasping at straws. They're like, all right, there's only how many there's how many million PS4s out right now? I can't remember the number.
let's go. Let's round to 35 million. Okay, everybody
Okay,
get
35 million versus 80 million.
yeah,
I mean, granted, the gap has gotten a lot smaller. This 80 million is still a lot more than 35 million,
yeah,
especially since the retention rate on the PS4 is still abysmal. Most
yeah.
people don't own more than what, 3, 4 games max.
Average is 3 games. Again, Street Fighter might be the one to bump it up to 4, but that's about it.
Yeah,
No, that's the
and
truth. That's about it. And it's in Sony's IR pages, people, is what they talk about in their own business when they're doing the business meetings to the investors. That's the truth. I'm not lying on that part. But it's just I'm just saying that right now Square Japan is noticing that because they're not making money in their home country. So they're saying, okay, hey, you want Dragon Quest 7? Go right ahead. Dragon Quest 8, no problem. Again, and they're gonna say 10 and 11. 10 is on the Wii over there. Hopefully they could do it for America for people who want it. That's the thing. But again, to your question again, to be honest, yeah, I don't know, and I'm just it is. I'm one of the YouTubers. Him, I mean, Shepherd's one. I love Game Idea. If he made a mistake, he apologize and he do a video right about apologize. Like people like that's why I associate with these guys because we're humble people and we're not trying to do this thing to get infamy. Fame and infamy is two different things.
Well, I wouldn't call myself humble, but I try to be honest at least. I know I'm the bee's knees. I know, I understand. I know I'm pure awesome.
You
It's
see,
just a matter of time for you guys to figure that out. But at least I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong,
got
because
you.
that's part of growth.
Yeah, yeah,
We're
yeah. As they
human,
said, yeah, we are human.
and so hell, you're gonna be wrong. You're not always gonna be right. I don't care how accurate you may be. You're gonna be wrong at some point.
Yeah, and I'm just one of those persons that you know what? If I don't know the answer, I'm not gonna pretend to give you an answer and then prove it wrong later on because I just don't know. I'm not. I don't have that. I don't have that ego to go do that. Not me. It's not my thing. I just don't know, and that's all it is. So he has the next question. Being since in this one we've got both answers. Being RPG fans, name a remake. Oh, this is really good. Name a remake you would like to see outside the usual suspects of Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Tales, Chrono Trigger, and how would you like to see it be updated?
Dang. So I guess he said Final Fantasy, so that includes tactics. um, you know what? I would like to see Vandal Hearts remade.
What
Vandal
about
Hearts
Breath of
really
Fire?
tugged at my heart. What? Oh my
Breath of
god, don't
Fire.
get me started on Breath of Fire. That is a good one. Oh my god, I freaking love Breath of Fire so much. Everything up to 4. 5 does not exist. Neither does 6.
You said fire doesn't
5,
exist.
5 and 6 does not exist.
Oh
Um,
man.
Breath of Fire is a really good series. People sleep on it. The storytelling is, I don't know if it, I wouldn't consider it the greatest, but it's entertaining at least.
Got
And
you.
the game is fun, and the mechanics of becoming a dragon hybrid and all that other stuff is really good.
Okay.
And
For
that
me,
that that go ahead.
it will be SRW. I mean the anime. I mean that's the game. To be honest, that is the game that brought me back into strategy turn based SRW. If it wasn't for that, I would have because I got burned out on turn based games. And
But
that
that game is somewhat recent though. I mean, it's not recent, but I figured when you say remake, you're referring to like almost back to the Super Nintendo days, maybe PlayStation 1.
well, I mean, well, okay, it came out.
I mean, I
That
mean,
game came out. No, that game came out on on a Game Boy Advance.
oh, I never played the Game Boy Advance version. Oh, you just educated me. My bad. I'll have to
No,
look that up now.
SRW came out in advance and came out in advance.
See,
The OG
I was
stories,
on
the OG stories of Super Robot Tyson, Super Robot Tyson original saga. That's the game. There's two games that came out on Game Boy Advance. I got those games. They have a completed version of those two games together that came on PlayStation, but it never to PlayStation 2, but it never came to the West. I would love it. I would love
Ah,
that game. You know, pretty up a little bit, but keep the what it is because I love this. The story is what I like about that game. Like you just said about the Breath of Fire, like, it's not too right. It's entertaining, but that story is intriguing to me. I like it. They took it another route, and I like games. The reason I like that game, other than that, is that it's not a main character, kind of like maybe like Mass Effect or Xenoblade Chronicles. It's around 4 people or whatever. Nah, it's a cast of you have a main character, but a subcast is about 50 deep. You care for every one of those characters.
if you're going with that, you got to go back to the original Suikoden games.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Suikoden games were great. I didn't get past 3 though, so I don't know how it went after that. But the Suikoden when it first came out was such a revolutionary concept at the time. It was just like, wow. Listen, another game. What was it? Now that I said Suikoden, what was it? I know they already made a remake, but Wild Arms. Wild Arms for me was just the remake kind of fell short. Alter Code F was a bit of a disappointment to be honest with you, but it was still nice seeing it done anime style. and uprising the graphics. Wild Arms is another good series that if they take the time and do it right, it would be great. I actually have the strategy RPG version of Wild Arms. I forgot what it's called, but it's on my PSP.
Okay.
That was very enjoyable as well. I gotta look it up. I gotta dig through my PSP collection. I'm just too lazy to go for it now.
Nah, it's all right. Maybe that's one of your videos you could do. Cause I'm gonna do a video like that too. Like just go through my go through my bonus the room I'm in right now, the bonus room, and just show my games and everything, and just this is a little quick video because that will be easy to process and not gotta upload easy. Then sort of go crazy with it. But personally, he was talking about he personally for him he was like Gaia, Lufia, Breath of he said Breath of Fire.
Ooh,
Yeah,
ooh, Gaia Luffy. Yeah, those are some good choices.
yeah, and
Okay, okay,
yeah, so so like I said, yeah, you basically thinking the same way we thinking, bro. Yeah,
okay. I can dig it.
I know, right? So with that, let's see. Of course, we're going back to Anderson. He's like, what do you think of the torrential downpour hashtag, and what kind of oh, I mean, I don't know what this is. Maybe have you heard about this, Shep? The torrential downpour hashtag.
No, I'm actually baffled. But Anderson Aquila is usually when he brings something up, there's usually something poignant about it. So I'm about to whip out my good friend Google.
Exactly, because I do not. To be 100% Anderson, I don't know what that is. Before because basically I think he's saying it is the same as Operation Downfall, also plainly visible NOA
Oh,
translate
as soon
in
as I
fire.
type, as soon as I write torrential, downpour popped up.
What
So
is it?
this, okay, no, that's a music band. That's a
Also,
no.
plenty of videos of NOA translation of Fire Emblem Fates are upon us. Are you ready? Nope. But you came up with something, Shep?
What about? Sorry, say it again.
You came up with the torrential downpour? 'Cause I don't know what it is.
Let's see. No, that's not the one I'm looking for. I put hashtag now. Oh wow, yeah, there's a bunch of Nintendo video game stuff that pumped up. Fire Emblem Fates. Uh, no, I'm actually new to this. I'm gonna have to look that up. Oh wow, the SJWs are involved. Oh god.
Yeah, well,
That
that's
that
a
that's become that name's that's become taboo with me now.
I got to, yeah, I can see that. If it's because of the translation of Fire Emblem and everything else, yeah, I mean, that's kind of drama that if they want to do that, let them do that. I don't care. The game's out, go enjoy it. I mean, I know that's not you. I know you bring it up because you're trying to understand how these people say stupid stuff all the time, and yeah, sometimes you just gotta walk away from ignorance.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to read more into this later, Anderson. I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
I apologize in advance if you see me raging on Google Plus later. But I'll just say it's your fault.
I got you. I got you. Back to Lupacillo. Nintendo seems to be dropping Dolby, and instead of going to make their own proprietary surround sound on the Wii U. Although it still supports Dolby, as evidenced by the fact that you can play Netflix and GameCube and early games in Dolby mode. I mean, look. There's more modes right now, Lupacillo, that there's the THQ surround sound is also pretty good. There's so many different things that's coming out now that can help games get better. I respect Dolby, but some games proprietary to if Nintendo could do a proprietary surround sound, that'd be cool. But I don't um I don't know if they'll do that. I To be 100% honest, I don't know if they'll do it because those standards are something that are easy to license, and they know that. And a lot of developers like the Cry engine and stuff like that is simple set up in certain surround sounds that it's just easy to use that. And if they want to do it for the Wii U or the next console that's coming out for Nintendo, they'll do it. If they do their own proprietary stuff, that's more work for them. And if they could do it, that'd be great. Don't get me wrong, but we'll see what happens. Okay, you,
Sorry
I'm gonna
about
say,
that.
that's all right. Let's see. I've heard some of the fans been asking for more RPG elements in Legend of Zelda games. What are your feelings on making Legend of Zelda more RP, RPG game-ish? That's from
Um,
Meow.
uh, as much as I am a huge hardcore RPG fan, that is my favorite genre, hands down. I I don't want to tamper too much with that with the Legend of Zelda. I mean, you could put a few elements here and there, maybe like crafting stronger weapons and
Well, they kind
whatnot.
of
But
did that in
I
Skyward
don't.
Swords.
Yeah, but I don't want to. There's certain things I don't. It's technically not an RPG. It was designed to be that way. I don't think we should have too much RPG elements as much as I love RPGs. But that's just me personally.
No, okay, and then for my answer,
That's part of the charm. Good.
true. For me personally, if they're gonna do it again, if they're gonna do it as same thing with Metroid, do it as a spin-off. Leave the niche to be what it's supposed to be, what made it great. Because don't try to do it. But then if they make an RPG, because remember Sonic had an RPG with Dark Chronicles.
Oh yeah, I have that. Which reminds me, Nintendo, if you're listening, which I know you aren't, but hopefully you are because you have this podcast. I want a Mario RPG U, chop chop, or
I got you.
the dreaded new console, which I won't say its name because people have been talking too damn much about it. But
Whatever the
li-
cost is, yes. Whatever
whatever it
console
may
costs,
be,
yeah.
the Famicom 7.
All
Let let
right.
let. It would be nice if we had a new Mario RPG, especially since it looks like you guys are getting along better with Square Japan again.
Japan, yeah. Okay, true that, true that. Or like you have, like I said, intelligent
Especially
systems.
since we got a Geno in Smash Brothers,
Well, that's true,
and
but
we have
also,
Cloud. Cloud is garbage, by the way. I don't care what anybody says. He's all fluff with a nice big sword.
but intelligent systems have done a really good job with RPGs. Now you can let them get attack at Mario RPG. They might do a good job with it too.
And well, just and more RPGs. Period. I mean, let's be real. I love Nintendo games. I do, doing it throughout. But as an RPG fan, unless they're very lacking in the new material if you don't have a 3DS. I mean, don't get me wrong, Xenoblade is awesome, and that will probably fill my RPG needs for a year, maybe.
It's a big ass long game, dude. Holy.
Oh,
Well, like I
that's why I
said,
said a year.
yeah. Well, like I said, they have
Dude, I'm a dude. I'm a dude that you have to remember. I'm a hardcore RPG. I can sink hundreds of hours in a month if I really wanted to,
I got you. I want to see
while
you.
still going about my life. Especially,
Yeah,
well, maybe not so much with a Wii U. It's easy to do on the 3DS.
I got you. Well, you have, like I said, you have intelligent system that's doing RPGs, and you also have Monolith Soft now that's underneath your belt. So you have two really good teams that's doing great in that's inside EAD. So
Yeah, true, true.
let's see. Hopefully they could do more. No, hopefully they could do more stuff with it. I'm with you though. I'm on your side, Chef. Really, I am. That they could do some stuff like that. Let me see. Oh, okay. Which source of this from Lupasillo? Which source is the most sinister? Um, Lagal, Ganondorf, Dragomine. Oh boy, some of these Kamek. Some of them I don't even know. Like Puris Agros,
Well, let's remove
PIUS.
Ganondorf.
Yeah.
Ganondorf is nowhere near as evil as people give him credit for. He's actually just a dude trying to do his thing. He's actually not a which is why he's one of my favorite bad guys because he's evil, but he's not really evil.
Who?
But that's a whole long conversation we could have on that
Yeah,
too.
Sorcerer. I mean, shoot, I don't know.
Salsa? You
A
mean Salsa
sorcerer.
from?
No. He was saying which sorcerer is the most sinister,
Oh, which sorcerer is the most sinister?
and he gave like Ganef. I mean, some of these things, some of these names doesn't register me because I don't think I ever played those games.
Well, I can't forgive him because if he sent Sorcerer the most sinister and he didn't bring up Kefka, he's already failed right there.
Okay, you heard what he said, Lewis. Like, you ain't say Kafka, so
You've already failed right there. Shame on you.
I know, right? Okay. And now most of these is basically Andre's. He's putting some stuff there. Thanks, bro. Shout outs to the game idea guy.
Oh,
Uh,
Andre, what's up, my dude?
so we have. Let me see the next one. So most of these just
That's my
like.
ninja.
How do you feel about the lack of RPGs on the console side and the overabundance on the handheld side? That's a question, but then also you had you find one painful and the other one overwhelming, and that's from Anderson Archiller.
I kind of said it unintentionally earlier.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
I personally, I love the RPG content on the 3DS, but there needs to be more balance. There need to be more RPGs on the console side. That this is for anybody who loves RPGs. I've already acknowledged this for the longest while. Don't get me wrong, Xenoblades is a fantabulous game, and I'm gonna sink at least 200 to 300 hours in this game easily. But it's only a game. I
Yeah,
mean, we should at least have. I figured we should at least have 2 games a year.
that's
That
RPG.
I don't think that's unreasonable.
No, I got you because you
Or at
have
least
Xenoblade.
or at least a new release every year. Like okay, Xenoblades this year. Let's
Next
get
year
another
is
release
probably
next year. Because
well, you have
we have
next.
the crossover, the Shin
Yeah,
Megami Tensei. So
yeah.
I kind of negated what I said, but I really think there should at least be 2. But I'm
I got
trying
you
to be
saying.
reasonable about it.
No, I got you. No, you're right. I got what you're saying again, and also it should be again. If there's some third parties that should put some RPGs if they want on there, So, but if you're gonna call it to Nintendo, yeah, I think what you
Yeah,
said is right. There. Just
yeah,
Nintendo, yeah,
Nintendo
they should.
specifically. They should
Yeah,
have
they should put
more
more.
third-party stuff too. But
But Nintendo specifically, I think yeah, they should at least one. I say one. Like you, I would go one a year. So it
yeah,
feels one a year that you could at least okay maybe about 3 months of the year I got this RPG on my Wii U and then go back to the 3DS and play other games and then next year again come with something else. It takes a while to do the RPG game because of the
yeah,
story how you
exactly.
gotta set up. So
If you want a good quality RPG game, it takes some time. My whole
yeah,
thing is this: I love RPGs. I admit it. Anybody knows me knows I love RPGs. But in the last couple of years, I've put way more hours into my 3DS than my Wii U because of that. Because
yeah. No, but
there's
that's your
no RPG.
preference. But that's your preference, which is understandable. And as a person who wants more of that
Well
in
then,
your console, that I can
well we
respect
can,
that.
well if you look into the balance, we still need more fighting games too. Smash
True.
Brothers doesn't quite count. We have what Tekken. We have
Taking
the Tekken tag team.
and then we
What
have
else do we have?
Pokemon coming out now
Well, we
next
have Pokken coming out finally, which will be good. But I'm just saying, like,
You need
it's
a 2D game, kind of like
the
a Guilty
library is
Gear.
limited. Yes, we do. Or a revival of something similar to Samurai Showdown.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
We need a
Because
good side-scrolling beat 'em up.
that's limited on all platforms. So that's not even a Nintendo thing.
Well, that is true. But we had Tatsunoko versus Capcom. That was
Which was a
great on
fight,
the
a
Wii.
good
I
fighting.
enjoyed that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like I said,
We should
also,
when
but like
let's
I said,
have a
on the,
sequel. A few more characters, better graphics. Boom,
yeah, you have.
guaranteed sales.
I know you have that, and then you had Guilty Gear that was on that as well too. Guilty Gear was on the Wii because I have
Oh,
that
I
game.
didn't know that. I'm gonna have to look into. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to
I
pick
have
that
that for my
up.
Wii. Yeah, I have that for my Wii. Guilty Gear is on the Wii as well.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so
Thank
back
goodness we're
then,
backwards compatible.
exactly, exactly. So we'll go to the next one. Okay, here you go. There's a good one from Andre, the game idea guy. Who is your favorite Nintendo villain?
Okay, I kind of sort of give that answer away already.
Oh, wait, you did?
Well, you said Nintendo specific. You say on the Nintendo platform. If you said
No, he
Nintendo
said no.
platform, it would
He
be
said no, no,
Kefka.
no,
But if you're
no.
saying Nintendo,
Nintendo. That's what he said.
okay,
He said
Ganon.
Nintendo. Ganon.
He's freaking awesome on so many levels. His backstory is damn. I can't even talk about him right now because you'll be listening to me talk for at least 10 minutes straight. Let's just say do your research. Ganon is freaking awesome. He's not as he's evil, but he's not as evil as people think he is. He's essentially doing it for his people, depending on which part of the Zelda storyline you peek
Yeah,
into.
for the Gurus.
Yeah, that's part of it. But yeah, like I said, just Google my friend if you don't know already.
For me,
It's more than just that for the record. But yes, you're right.
for me,
So yeah, Ganon hands down.
yeah, for me, like I said, I could respect and I could go with Ganon as well too. I would say, like Nintendo characters, like when I look at
Bowser, he's gangster. He stole Peach from Mario. He even had a
Bowser's
kid
that
with her.
as a person who I laugh you crazy, and the person I laugh too, like I mean, I love who also gave me a good amount of fun, King DDD for Kirby. I mean, I could say Ridley, but I can say that's a little too, contrary in that way because sometimes he is, sometimes not. But I do like King DDD as a villain. I like him because he just messes with Kirby, and he has the same. I still remember when he sucked me up the first time I played Kirby. I'm like, he has the same power as me. Damn it! What the hell? And of course, we get the hammer and everything now. Yeah, he's just a crazy villain himself. Um, Back to Alice. I'm not Allison. Does Project Crossover 2 make either of you a little sad? Which watching many characters from other series that has been locked in the basement. Yes, that's what
Yes,
I brought it
yes,
up. I brought it
yes,
up on my last podcast.
yes,
Capcom. Why the hell Nintendo gotta make Mega Man relevant than you? That don't make no sense.
yes. Nintendo has shown far more love for Mega Man in the last 4 or 5 years than Capcom, the true parent of Mega Man, in the last decade.
Yeah, that's it should not happen. That is so messed up. That is so oh man, that's so messed up. And
I'm
you know what?
exaggerating a little bit, but yeah.
But no, I mean Mega Man's in Smash, Mega Man is in these two games, cross one, cross two.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the Mega Man game coming? Nobody knows because they haven't run in a while. And of course, I ain't gonna never leave out Sega. Hell, shoot, all them games,
I keep it
Virtual
real.
Fighter.
I'm so desperate for Mega Man right now. I would take a well done remake of Mega Man X. Just give me the Mega Man X series. Just up-res it, same 2D, just better graphics, and I would buy the game all over again.
Well, hell, you know what would be a good
Well,
one?
but put some good voice acting, please. Please put some
You
good
know
voice
what?
acting because
You know what would be a
that's
good one?
atrocious.
You guys
But
did a collection with Zero for the DS. Why don't you do a collection with
yes, I have
ZX
it
and
too.
ZA?
Oh yes, I
Just
haven't picked up Advent yet. I actually need to go get that.
yeah, I have. We have because me and my sister. We have like I have a cartridge. She has a cartridge. So we have 4 games back, whatever. But ZX and Advent and ZX and ZA. I mean, those do a collection of that and put it on the whatever. I mean, there's so
I
much
buy
things
it.
that yeah. But again, it is sad. You're 100% right. Son. You hit
It's
the nail
just
on the
very
head.
sad.
You hit the
I
nail
got I
on the
got the
head.
Z collection. I don't have Advent. I need to get that. Shame
That's
on me.
yeah, that's not cheap.
No, it's not. No, it's not because I would have already owned it. But I know there's always a sale somewhere.
Okay, here's what I was talking about earlier. So it's up to you, Mister. This is from Andre, the game idea guy. So if
Oh,
you're the good
good.
shepherd, who is the bad shepherd?
Um, Me. And I want to elaborate on that. I'm also the bad shepherd. That's all I'll say there.
Oh man, that is that. I just saw him. I know he just had to go mess with people.
I am also the bad shepherd, depending on how you catch me.
I know, right? From a boy back with Anderson. Anyone interested in Near, which is basically the one, feels iffy about a
Yes.
sequel to suppose one of the most depressing games of all times. Yeah,
Mm,
I'm not iffy really about it. Like I said, if they're doing it for I mean, it's Platinum taking over and doing that game, and
It,
it's basically it's basically
it still has my attention. I'm as I stand currently. I'm still gonna pick that game up
mhm.
personally. But continue. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
No, I got you. I'm not really worried about it to a degree because so my thing about a game that I want it to happen is people. If now you're gonna get a Bayonetta S game for your for PlayStation 4, go on and buy the game. Y'all were bitching and and threatening the game because Bayonetta didn't came to your console of choice. Speak with your wallet.
You know darn well that these people are hypocritical bastards, and they just talking out the side of their faces. It's a fact.
No,
The sales for the Transformer games wasn't as good as it should have been. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't nearly as good, and it's the same people that designed it. I want them to support this new game. Please do, because Platinum is a great studio.
yeah.
They need more love, and they're very small. People don't realize it. Platinum is tiny for
No,
a
they are.
for a gaming company. They're very small.
The one thing Platinum has is they have great game directors, Shinji Mikami, Hideki Kamiya. I mean, they have legendary game design in their team, which is
Hmm.
good. That's all but they are like an indie team with great designers. That's what it is. It's like a Yakup
Yeah,
and stuff like that. So yeah.
they're like a slightly bigger version of Shinen. Well, no, a
I
much bigger version because Shinen's
was just
definitely
gonna
four
say, yeah,
people.
I was gonna say that. Um, which of these fever dreams do you really wish to happen? Super Mario RPG 2 in a claymation style? No. A return to Shining Force, Skies of Arcadia, Darkstalkers, Parasite Eve, or Tactics.
Ogre Tactics. Oh
Yeah,
my goodness. That's a really
that's from that's
thought-provoking
from that's from.
question.
I would for me. It's two games that stand out. I would like. I mean, I know you just said Mario RPG. I know that's what you said, Chef. For me, if I had to choose
Hmm.
out of that list that he gave me, Skies of Arcadia. I want that back. That was a good game on the GameCube, and
Agreed.
also and the Dreamcast. 'Cause I got both of them, and
Hmm.
I want Darkstalkers because right
As I
now
was, I was
Darkstalkers is in public
Darkstalkers
console too, and I'm like,
disappear. I know. Actually, there's a collection version of PS3 that I put on my list. I need to pick that up soon.
yeah, I
I
want
want to get that
Darkstalkers
game.
again, but
Darkstalkers.
oh man, Capcom has so many games
Yo,
in the basement.
Cap. That's why I call these bastards Crapcom because they have so many, and it's across genres. It's not just fighting games. They literally have good games across multiple genres, and
Yep.
they just. It's like do you hate making a profit? Do you just hate yourselves? Because it's like, what are you doing? You have great RPGs, you have great fighting games, you have great platformers. Like, what are you doing? Seriously. Well, for me, you already know pretty much everything he listed. Mario RPG, but I'm not big on the claymation, but it depends. Maybe they can execute it right. Uh, Super Mario RPG 2, Skies of Arcadia, Tactic Ogre. Oh my God, he did that specifically because he heard me talking about strategy RPGs. That was very manipulative on his part. Um, and Darkstalkers. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I would love to rock a brand new Darkstalker game.
I
That
got
would be
you.
friggin' awesome. And not even because of Morgan, because as much as I love her, they play her out on the Marvel versus
And
Capcom
they also
games.
played Felicia too now. Don't get it wrong.
Well, true. Well, true. I want more of the Darkstalker cast because you could tell it kind of forced them to be creative. I want to see more creativity from Capcom.
True.
Think of monsters and just go to town. Like I want to see a gargoyle character done right. Imagine a gargoyle type character, like a Goliath type character, wrecking people left and right. That'd be freaking awesome.
Oh, okay. Uh,
Am I?
no, no, no,
Oh,
no. You're right. You're right. That's what I'm saying. The ideas are there. Andre has like 50 ideas for how much games he could put on.
oh well, yeah, that's a different conversation. There's a reason he's called the game idea guy.
I know, right? I know, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, from Foodie Puncher. Speaking of video game challenges, what has been the most recent challenge you guys have happily beaten? I'll start and basically I'll start by saying that about a couple hours I finally beaten the Talithia, Endbringer in Xenoblade Chronicle X. Okay, but he's basically what recent challenge in the games have happily beaten. For me, some of the challenges that's in Senua Kagura, the Deep Crimson for the DS, 3DS. Some of the challenges on them things is freaking ridiculous, but you know what? I take my time, and one of the challenges is beating the who came, Marvelous. You know what? And it's coming out on PlayStation, which is good. Like I said, I don't care what platform it really to a game is, as long as it's coming on paper. But I like what they did. They did basically how kind of stuff on this. Instead of Kagura 2, one of the DLCs on there. But again, I got it. Full disclosure, I got a DLC free when I was in Japan. For some reason, they gave the bundle all together in that game, so I don't know. But in America, it's a DLC you gotta buy. But they gave you a shoot 'em up. They got a shoot 'em up in the game, which is, I was like, what? And you're there. Everybody has their own thing. Everybody has their own stage and their own using the Nimpo as their own weapon and stuff. So it's pretty cool. That's the challenge I'm working on right now. But the main challenge was to beat the game, to beat Senua Kagura on the highest level. All the extra hard, all through the whole game, and I did that about a month ago. So that's for me. What about you,
Nice.
Shep? What game?
Okay, well, I guess it was a challenge because it really did kind of irk me, and I was determined that I'd beat him. Um, Beating the Crystal Dragon by myself in the towers in Fantasy Life,
Oh, okay.
because I guess you were supposed to tackle those challenges with a team. I did it by myself with no like support character. I just ran in there and I went to town. And that's actually harder than I expected it to be, but I eventually got good enough that I could now pick up the game right now and do it again. Granted, it's not super easy. I was proud of myself that I was capable of creating a character that could really go to town and beat the Crystal Dragon by myself with no support, without really healing myself.
Got you.
Which, for the record, you can get KO'd real fast fighting him.
Oh, I hear you, bro.
Just 1-2 hits, you're done. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was one of the more recent challenges that I succeeded in, and I'm proud of myself.
Okay. Fuji Punch asks the next one. It basically is a question to me. Back in my country, if you were walking to the bathroom, if it would take an hour and to reach there, an hour to get back. No, not the bath. No, no, no. That's not what it was. No, my
Yeah,
bathroom.
but you have a lavatory, boys. You dig a hole and
That's basically what it was. But you had a shed around it. It's basically an outhouse. That's what it
yeah,
was. Yeah.
yeah. It's an
It took
outhouse lavatory.
it's like it was about a minute, bro. Because it's behind the house, but it's just like I said. I only said because as a little boy, I was scared to go out when I had to go use the bathroom. I was just scared
Oh
to go
God,
outside in
use
the dark.
yeah, boy. Using the bathroom in the middle of the night. Oh God, they'd be like, I want to hold it, but I have to go. You're like, somebody come out with man. Wait, let me get. Oh yeah, I have a candle or a lantern or something.
No, we had a lantern out at the outhouse, but also you had to walk out with a flashlight. But yeah, when I got to the point where had to walk out there as a kid. Now, granted, one thing about the islands is when it's a bad and a good. When the moon is shining, it shines very good down there. That you don't really need
Oh
to
yeah.
black. But when it's a new moon, it's pitch black like nothing. Holy crap!
It is dark.
Yeah, so yeah, as a little boy,
Dark.
yeah, I was scared to go there when I had to use the bathroom. I tried my best to be in the daytime, and I said I don't want, and I don't try to drink nothing, eat nothing, whatever. And like I said, with my mom, she used to basically tell me go to sleep about 7 o'clock anyway. But yeah, it's it is that kind of sitting like that.
Yeah, boy. Once the lamppost, the light come on. What? We inside now. Bedtime. Brush your teeth. There you go.
I know, right? I know, right? If you had a chance given to lead a game development team, sure, that's again, this is Andre kind of question, but it's not Andre's. Yeah, I'm saying it. But what game would you choose? Story, characters, graphic, music. Name one from Nintendo and one from third party. A crossover count as well. So, what game would you choose if you story, character, and graphics, music that you'll do from Nintendo or from third party?
So wait. So you mean tackling a storyline and doing your own spin on it? Essentially, is
Basically,
that what
basically
he's
you are
asking?
basically you're the game you're like a Hideki
The
Kamiya.
game designer.
Yeah, your game is
Okay.
the lead.
Hmm. Okay. And he says across all platforms.
Hmm.
Mm,
Well, no, he said one for Nintendo and one for third party. Yeah, so if you go do two, you could do. If you can't, it's all right. I said,
I could do it. I guess for Nintendo. Well, I can't say Mario RPG. That's kind of a given for me. So I gotta come up with something more creative. Um. Hmm.
for me from Nintendo
You go
side,
first. Yeah.
for me from the Nintendo side, I will attack Metroid. Since I read everything about that thing, I know stuff. I'll try to go a certain way with Metroid because and talk to Sakamoto and see what his vision would be and work with that. But on the third party side, and I shout shameless plug, but shout out to Jay Fleming, Red Steel 2. I want to Red Steel 3, but we talk and you could go to his channel and we talked about what would make that game keep on going. It's on my basically it's tagged on my channel. You could go to the discussion review and you should see Game Cafe talk with me and Jay
That
about
was that
that.
hidden gem episode I haven't looked at yet. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that we talked about Red Steel 2 and how to make Red Steel basically Red Steel 3. So you can check that out and you can hear that more in detail on that video on the So go to my channel, go to Jay Fleming channel and you could check out the Red Steel 2, the ideas and that's third party wise, that's a game that I would want to continue. Anything for you, Shep?
Ironically, I was gonna say Legend of Zelda, but I want another Wave Race. I
Okay,
want another Wave Race.
yeah.
Wave Race needs some love.
Hmm.
I would tackle Wave Race for Nintendo. And for third parties, this might throw some people off because they would always expect an RPG from me, but I want a revival of Battle Arena to Shinden.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Battle
I am.
Arena to Shinden.
I'm with you on that one. That's one of my favorite fighting back in the PlayStation days. Oh, that was good. That was
And if
good.
not Battle Arena to Shinden, I'll tackle Samurai Spirits or Samurai Showdown, depending on the translation.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
But Battle Arena to Shinden takes priority.
I got you. I got you. All right. Then we have the game idea again. Here's a question since I know both of you kind of watch a lot of them. But which of these game ideas would work on a Wii U? Do you think would likely to actually happen? And let me see. And that aside from the ones that already have happened or been announced. Basically, he's asking which one of his videos would work, will really work. Like because Andre has a bunch of he has over
Oh, he has a it's ridiculous. He has like a playlist with like at least 50 plus videos. It's insane.
I,
I can't even look at them all, and he's my boy. It's just wow. But
you're
it's all good stuff though. Don't get it twisted. Well, not
no,
all of it, but most of it.
well, like I said, when I had him when I had him and did the 101, I told him. Like, I mean, he said it's basically out. Like sometimes that's why I like this. That's why I like doing this channel. Like you have these thoughts in your head, and you could just get them out. Talk in gaming wise. Like like oh man, I would like to talk about this. And he's a creative person, so he has,
And I agree with you, Andre, and I agree with you, Lager. It's a great outlet, and you'd be surprised what great ideas might work. I'm learning now more than ever to let these ideas out because there's times where you have an idea and you keep it to yourself and it gets wasted. Like here's some personal stuff I want to bring up briefly if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Um, I was part of a group in high school called Trinity One. We wrote a story which was very, very similar to the last Airbender Avatar series. We wrote it back in 1996, I believe. We never put it out there. Now look at the Avatar. I mean, but if we would have been more proactive, we could have been in a similar situation or better now. I came up with an idea last year, which I didn't fully pursue, but I came up with the entire concept. And then I found out the other day, thanks to you, good sir, that it's patented now by somebody else. So and it was after I came up with the idea. So it's like,
Yeah,
don't sleep on your mind. I mean, I know I'm not the only one with good ideas. If you have a good idea, let it out, put it out there. I mean, don't get me wrong, you should probably like copyright it or something so it won't get stolen. But if you don't underestimate yourself, you'd be surprised. You'd be like, oh no, it's stupid. Because I was like, oh no, the story was good, but it's incomplete and blah blah blah. Well, the last Airbender was almost the exact same storyline, and I'm sure they've made millions on that.
true.
And
For me, out of your videos, Andre, like I said, some look, like I said, the reason me and you had this conversation. The reason why, if I have to sit, let me know what. Let me be positive. Kind of what the thing that's basically that shuts down at least about half of your games or more is because who owns the IPs? It's just as we talk about crap cars as the good shepherd just said. So that's the part because Tesla. You have one with Tesla. It was Capcom. Two, Beautiful Joe, three, and all that stuff.
oh
Code
my
Red.
God,
You
yes,
you have all that
excellent
stuff, but
ideas.
yeah, but who owns the IPs? Capcom, and they're not doing nothing with them. So if I have to be honest, I will go. You have one about the Fire Emblem, putting all the Fire Emblem games as a collection. I'm cool with that. Bringing Project Cross Zone 1 and 2 onto the Wii U. I'm cool with that. I make a Bravely Default HD. That one could work. Those are stuff that can work, and I wish they could put it on the console because the IPs are recent and they're not in like a limbo that it can't happen, and it's up to Nintendo and some people to work things out if it's a third party thing or not. Now, the one game you did bring up that I said I don't care about would be the one with Project Cross. Nah, they turned me wrong, and I don't care for them. Sorry, they're slightly mad, they're slightly crazy. I ain't want them. Not really intrigued by that one. But let me see.
Okay.
Who? Of course, Andre again. Who's your favorite Nintendo hero? Andre, you know my answer,
Mm,
so I gotta worry about that. What about you?
who's my favorite Nintendo hero? Mm, no, that's not a Nintendo IP. That's not a Nintendo IP. It just happened to be in the NES. No, no, not Toad. Captain Toad.
For real? You joke. I know you joking. You fool.
uh, I don't want to be cliche, but I freaking love Link. That's my homie all day.
Hey,
I was trying to think of something beside him, but if I had to pick a Nintendo, I I still main him on Smash. I mean, I play other characters. Um, I I also have a strong love for the Greninja, but he's not really a hero. He's just a Pokemon. But Link, Link all day.
Link
He's a
all
bit
day.
cliche at times, but if you the different iterations, there's been occasions where he's been through some serious stuff.
Yep.
And
Ah,
and go ahead.
no. I was saying, oh man, you're right. No, I agree with you.
It's he's and granted it gets cheesy at times. there are occasions where they truly show his courage and the stuff he goes through, and it's like, wow, dude, I gotta. That's one of those where you gotta be like, if I was in the same situation, I don't think I could handle it as good as you do.
True, true.
But
Of
of
course,
course, he's a made up character. But yeah,
mine is Mitch, Samus. So hell,
yeah, Samus all day. Samus is awesome.
every day,
The most
any day,
badass
all
chick ever.
day. Yeah.
People be
Uh,
hating on her because she got all emotional and out of hand, but I'm like, she's freaking human, well, part human. You think she
if
doesn't
she's
have
she is
emotions? Get over yourselves.
she's human that basically got transformed after what happened. But let me see. You find this Anderson, you find obsession with realism disturbing, or do you think one day the development of violent games are so realistic that it might cause real PTSD or other mental problems, which will turn give certain people ammo against our hobby? Yeah, everything has a limit.
Wow, that
Everything
was
has a
deep. Yeah. So
I'm
good.
no, my answer is everything has a limit. Everybody has a limit. You gonna some people keep on pushing that threshold that you're gonna just be gratuitous. It's just gonna happen.
Agreed.
It's gonna happen. There's some games in
I
Japan.
hope it doesn't, but
It doesn't, but there's people out there. Look, I don't want to squash people's creativity, but there's sick minds out there.
oh my God, don't get me started. Oh, no, I'm not gonna say it because if I say it, people are gonna Google it and then they're gonna, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's just say there are some really sick minds out there. And if you think Hostel was anything, oh, there's far worse things than Hostel.
yeah. But there's sick-minded people out there. You know what? If being that the indie scenes now is picking up, and you could do anything on the indie side because you don't have major publishers to gotta worry. They gotta worry about major publishers to back them. Hopefully, with Kickstarter and everything, they do this stuff. They're gonna come with people come with some sick idea games. And you know what? Yes, there gonna be some people. There gonna be some people in Congress or whatever is gonna use that as an ammo against our games. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
It's sad, and that's the one thing where I hate to admit it. We need to, on some level, police ourselves because if we don't, those type of stuff is gonna slip through the cracks, and then they're gonna use it as ammo
Yeah,
against us.
yeah, because they, the politicians on our side of America. I could give you two instances. On our side, they were going to use that game that came out, Hatred. Too bad that game was basically a bad game. People didn't really like it and they think it. But the trailer of this guy just going out and shooting people random and whatever, they were ready. The Congress and the Senate and everybody was ready to like, this is why we don't like this game. But because people don't buy the game and it was not a popular game, they backed off of it. Now, you go to Brazil. Why games down there are taxed at high rate and everything with the import tax and everything? Because the politicians know most of the majority of people think of gaming as a sin. So of course it's a guilty pleasure. So they tax the hell out of it and they could get it past any vote. That's why it's like $1,200 and stuff for a game down there.
It's insanely expensive for games over there.
Yeah.
But in a way, that might be a good thing because as much as I love gaming, there's other things you can do in life
No,
besides gaming.
I got that. I'm just saying. I'm just giving a contrast of how gaming. There are people already out there that use it as ammo, like he just said.
Yep, agreed.
And also everybody don't know. Like I said, remember nobody know. There wasn't a big thing about what's that the thing that we have when you see too much colors.
With when you get the seizures and stuff.
See, yeah, it was because of games that really brought it out. They were like, "Oh man, that give you those seizures." So the PTSD, like, yeah, there's gonna be some people out there who experience some crazy stuff, and they could link it. There's the gaming don't cause violence, but there are people out there you can really link games to certain things. You really can, but it's just depending of. It all goes back also to think about the mental state of that person anyway, because we see horrible movies, horrible games, horrible read books, we see horrible TV shows that may trigger us, but that person was not in a mental state in the first place, so that person was already corrupted to do the evil thing in the first place. Yeah, I mean, you see, I know you've seen it, Shep. Like, it's just that kind of setup.
I'm with it. I agree. This is real. And that was a really good question. A little depressing, but
That's
a
Anderson
good
for you.
question.
That is Anderson for you. Uh
Our resident gaming analyst. I think I'm gonna start calling
oh,
him that.
I know, right? Okay.
GA. G-
My disrespect, Mr. Game Idea guy. I thought maybe I got it mixed up with those videos, and I thought that's what you were talking about, like how to make the game better. He's basically saying the Project Cars video was actually about Grand Theft Auto 5, and I remember it now. But I thought that's why I thought I remember it back, and I thought you were trying to say it could work in a certain way. So that's my mistake. We got basically let's lock it down. Oh, this is basically for you. Um,
For me? Okay.
from Anderson, as the shepherd, what do you do when wolves in sheep clothing lead your flock astray?
Well, wolves in sheep clothing lead my flock astray. Um, I can't say that out loud because I do not promote gratuitous violence. So, no, actually, I address the situation if it's brought to my attention. Because at the end of the day, whether you stay with my flock or not, I didn't even know I had a flock. But
You know how
as
he.
but yeah. It comes down to the truth. Like, we're all people. We have our own choices. If you choose to go in a different direction, that's up to you. But as long as you do it for the right reasons. So if I'm aware of these things, I would try to address it and try to, whatever. But if it's all BS, then, I'm gonna have to call in like a rogue ninja or somebody to like eliminate the threat behind closed doors.
I know, right?
Just saying.
Got you. And you know what? And basically wrapping this up, but I give the the last one, which is a question. Yeah, it's a good question. Now, I don't. Maybe you could get it as your backlog because I never was interested in this game. At first I was, but I didn't get into it. Is anyone still interested in Tekken X Street Fighter, and why Akumo isn't in Super Street Fighter 5 officially?
Well, I got the Tekken X Street Fighter more
Okay.
because of my well, I guess you could call her my wife at this point. My my lady, my wife,
Mhm.
she was never really into Street Fighter, but she was kind of forced to play Tekken and she knew it a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So I figured I picked that game as kind of a crossover that we can both play and it was kind of fun, but the storyline was really weird.
Really?
I don't know how I feel about the storyline in Tekken Cross Street Fighter. Like,
I got
it's
you.
hard to give it. It's hard to give an analysis on the game right now. Now that you brought it to my attention, I might have to pick that up like soon and play it again.
Okay. Well,
But I bought the game specifically because she was a Tekken player and I was a Street Fighter player, and I figured that would kind of be one of the few games we could play together.
okay.
But yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I had something better to say at the moment, but that was the last time I picked up that controller was like to play that game was like 4 years ago, almost
Oh
three and
wow.
a half years ago. It
Oh
was like
wow.
when we first started dating. So
Okay. Okay. And then of course you said no, you said why Akuma is not a part of Street Fighter 5 officially? Dude, I don't know because it's part of Tekken really. But the thing that kills me is people. I'll say this right here because I've seen.
it's
Let me
coming out in
boast.
DLC, dude. Come on, let's be real.
One, it's gonna be DLC. That's true. But also now again, and Shepard has the game now. I put up a post. I put up a post on my channel saying, not my channel, on my Google Plus. I forgot on my Google Plus. Damn it, I forgot. On my Google Plus, that said I bought backup copies of Fire Emblem Fates. I bought backup copies. I have it digitally, but I bought it because I just love having the physical media. You know what I mean? Just in case anything happens to my DS, that I could get a DS and then put it in game and still be all right. Because SD card, because now with the SD card, you could back up the SD card to a computer file.
Yep,
Once,
that's what I did when I
yeah,
switched over to my new 3DS.
yeah, because it is hard to take the SD card out of the 3DS. But if you want the same, if you got a Wi-Fi system, if you're on Wi-Fi, you can back up it to a folder on your computer, and you could do that. So And if anybody didn't know that, you can do that. Go to this go to the menu options
There's
down.
an instructions. Yep.
Yeah, and just back it up so you don't lose your games, whatever. So if something ever happens to that, then you get a new 3DS. You can buy it and then put in the get an SD card, copy it to your SD card from the drive, and then put it in your 3DS, and everything should be safe. Just let you know as a backup option. But um, I'm just saying. So with the thing that killed me is like with this game, I was ready to buy it. I was ready to buy it for PC. I saw what's going on. I think, and I got this. I like Batman Arkham Knights. I don't think I would lose my I don't know how to say, like, my interest in, because I lost my interest in Batman Arkham Knights now because of what WB's, the bullshit they be doing. I'm like, fuck it. I don't want the story. Forget it. I don't care. I could watch it on YouTube if I really want to know what the story is about. That whole broken nonsense turned me off. I was like, forget it. You're not gonna get my money. Cause you didn't do it once, you did it twice. So shame on you. I didn't buy it the first time. I didn't buy it the second time. You to the hell if I'm gonna buy it the third time and give you money. But Street Fighter 5. I know they came on and said about there's not gonna be any more Wait until they're gonna do some kind of DLC pack. They're gonna do something. Oh, they're gonna do a Super Street Fighter 5 or so, because Capcom is cash strapped. As much as people say Monster Hunter is giving them money, that's not giving them the money. The cash cow is Street Fighter. That's their biggest money maker all the time for Capcom. And if they f this up, or they already f this up now, they're gonna put. Trust me, they're gonna be.
Yeah, let's be real. There's gonna be a end of the year edition, or there's gonna be a new iteration early next year or something.
Oh, for Street Fighter 5, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's a guaranteed.
Because
like I said, I bought it on a whim because I was excited, and I haven't played a Street Fighter game in a while. Like I think Super Street Fighter 4 was the last Street Fighter for me. I didn't have Ultra, all that other crap. But
yeah,
I was like, you know what? I need a fighting game on my PS4. I'm like, oh, Street Fighter 5's coming out. Oh, all right, there we go.
they're gonna be.
I broke my own rule because let's be honest, certain things you don't buy day one. You shouldn't, and that's why I say the people who are complaining, I just look at them. I'm sorry, not to be mean, but come on. Most of these cats have been gaming for over a decade.
Mm-hmm.
You have only yourself to blame for this nonsense. I keep it real. I was foolish in my purchase too. I don't really regret it because I'm not much of an online fighter anyways. I'm just annoyed more that the game has been beer boned. But I don't have the time to play the game much anyway. I hop on there, I play the story mode for a couple people, and I hop off. I have other games to play. But
Hey,
the game is an atrocity. Let's be real. I enjoy it, but it's not worth the money I paid for. But I also know they'll flesh it out as time goes on, so I'll play all my other games, and eventually I'll get the download. But people getting pissed about it, I'm like, come on, you know the history of Crapcom. Let's be real.
oh Lord, the history of
You
Capcom.
you only have yourself to blame. You can't get
True.
mad at these dudes. You know the BS, and so if you buy it, and you get mad about it. It's like you're just showing how ignorant and childish you are. And if you get mad at me for that, tough cookies. Because you tell it to me, and I'll say it right again. You guys know the history. I fell for it this time, but I won't. I own up to my own mistake. I'm not gonna turn around and cry and bitch about it. It is what it is. I know I'll eventually get my money's worth, so I'm not sweating it. But that's just me. But I know realistically speaking, wait, there's gonna be another iteration. There's gonna be an end of the year edition, or Super Street Fighter 5, or Street Fighter 5 Turbo, or Super Street Fighter Mega Alpha, whatever.
I know,
This is
right?
Crapcom.
Yeah.
So wait,
Okay.
you're gonna get a better version for less money.
Is look, look. Last year I said it. We're wrapping this up, but last year I said this. Every company, even Nintendo, every company, even EA, but again, EA found ways to trick people to get this stuff. Like I said, the whole 900 DLC crap. Everybody was basically basically going through a reorganization. because the gaming industry right now is not strong. I don't care what anybody says. It's not strong. It is. We're going down the tubes right now. We're on the downslide. Seventh generation was a fluke of the consoles selling that high. We're not going to see the sales like that in a while again. And right now, it's just no. It's just, and again, even if the play, I'll be honest. If the PlayStation 4 gets up to 80 million again, like they did with the PlayStation 3,
Not happening. I give him 60 million max.
no, I'm giving a scenario. Even if it gets that, what does it benefit if people don't buy the damn games? It doesn't
Still going
benefit.
on the tube. The profit is way too low
Yeah,
for everything. The
yeah,
consoles, the games.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That like they're still not helping that they got up to that point and not make the billions or whatever to keep themselves whatever they need. PlayStation guys who buy their games. I'm not talking about Shepard, but like because he buy his game. I'm talking about these guys who buy their games. Just buy your games. Don't care what any Nintendo fans say or Xbox fans say. The game comes out, you think it is, buy your games and keep the freaking game. Because like I said, for the average user to only have 3 games in the library, that's kind of. I'm sorry, I got 40 in my Wii U. I'm
And
sorry.
that's exactly, and that's another thing. A lot of the it's gotten very trendy, unfortunately. Although it's not so much with Nintendo games. People will buy a game, they'll beat it, they'll trade it in and get another game. That's not helping the industry.
Because what you're doing is
It get lets GameStop take advantage. Go ahead.
no, you like you said, games are taking advantage. But one, also, that means that other people are gonna buy the game used, and then you know what? That's not gonna help with the
Exactly.
sales of it. That's why, and
Exactly.
that's why these guys. That's why the average game drops off for third parties after 3 months. Basically, sometimes now look, they're gonna drop. They're gonna be 2 months now. That it gets there.
Hmm.
People. That's why they ramped up with all the pre-orders. All this, they top loaded at the beginning because they know it's gonna drop off because people are gonna buy used games later on.
Yep. And here's, I'm sure you've brought this up in your cast. I know we've discussed this before. I just don't remember if we've done it online.
Okay.
But I hate doing this, but it always ends up coming to this at some point. What's more profitable? You sell 1 million products and you make maybe $1,000, or you sell 250,000 products and you make $150,000. Do the math.
Well, yeah, you could do the math easily because and that's why I said I have to do that video, which is this is on me. This is on Liger. I have the graphics ready to go for it, but I am gonna do it pretty soon, where it shows the breakdown of $60 on who sells it, where do the $60 go if the game take
Mhm.
away DLC and all that crap, but
From printing it, from like
yeah,
physically making it,
stocking, shipping,
advertisement, all that
everything.
stuff. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it because as basically what Shepard is saying is like, yeah, third parties sell millions on PlayStation 4. You're right, 4, 5, 6, 10 million. Like I said, let's say 15 million is sold. But if all I could make as a profit, and this is a true number really, but let's just go. If all I could make is license fees, which is $7, okay. But if Nintendo could sell Mario Kart for 7 million and sell it for $48, who's making the most money? As Shepard just said, do the math. More a bigger profit margin means you're making more money. It's simple.
Yep.
So it's so like that's like I said, this generation right now we're on the downslide. Like I said, but you know what, y'all, like I said, that's why I'm cool to meet with Shepard, Andre, Jay Fleming, all these cool dudes, and of course all the subs that's listening to my channel. I do my thank you. I thank you guys for listening to us, not even me, us as a community. Because we might be, as some people say, as Shadow would say, the crumb side as a joke,
Crumb side.
crumb side. But you know what?
it's
Thank you.
only it's only logical to say we're the part of the crumb side.
I know, right? But I mean, some of
Let's
us,
all be let's all be zen with our thoughts and keep gaming on.
but you know what? Some of our subs crisscross between our channels. And thank you guys for listening to us as just gamers. That's what you're supposed to be having. Doing what we just did, doing what me and Shepard just did right now. Talk about games, just chit chat, having fun. And I love doing the random. No, that does get freaking crazy on my podcast. The random talks. because we go to some crazy things. I know Andre knows what I'm talking about.
That's why I stay away from that because I'm too random for your cast.
But please, you
Andre
do,
is a good representative. He's a lot like me in some ways, so
yeah, but he does it. But
let
yeah,
him do it.
you don't do no difference at Doc's one in the OGL cast. Hell,
Well, yeah, I can't do both. I gotta do one.
yeah, but like I said, our subs crisscross between that. I thank you guys for listening to us. Again, we try to keep things. I mean, we're human beings. Sometimes we might get a little angry about certain bull crap that's going on in the community, but we don't. I know Shep doesn't, and I don't do it. I don't thrive on drama. That's not my thing.
I got better stuff to do than worry about that.
I got
This is
yeah, and
supposed to be a fun outlet.
exactly. We are this is a hobby for us. Now, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna buy the games. That I'm gonna take my time. I buy certain games. I said many times. Certain games I'm gonna buy day one. Project Crossover that came out. I got it, well, got it day one because of the thing. But I got it day one because I know who the team is. I know who made that game, and I love the first one.
I will say this again, and this is a huge warning sign for you guys, and you should know this by now. If you buy a game and the game literally just released within a week or a few days, and they're already offering you season passes or extra thing for DLC, turn around, walk away, and don't look back. That is insane. A game just came out. You just like it just released. Let's say today's Tuesday. Yeah, there's new releases today. You
Yeah.
go in a game store. You pay $60 for a game, and they're immediately saying, "Oh, we have a season pass for $20, $30. Oh, there's also additional DC you can buy." I'm like, why isn't it already in the game? That's the type of stuff that scares me, and it's becoming more and more commonplace. I bought Ultimate Ninja Storm, brand new, great game, but there's already a season pass for the game and additional charges and all these extra. I'm like, if I knew this ahead of time, I might not have bought the game because this is madness,
And you
and
know
it's
what?
not Sparta.
Joe,
Sorry, I had to say that.
no, you you stupid. And to give my honest opinion, and I said this on OGL cast. To give my honest opinion with you guys, this is not a this is could be a rumor or not. Look, it would be smart for Nintendo to do this. And if you are people who are waiting for this, I'll say this: the smart thing would be for Nintendo for the next home console is to do so they could keep the launch window active because there's not many people, of course, who bought the console to have, and I wouldn't feel bad about it. I wouldn't buy it, but I wouldn't feel bad that they did it to have a definitive version of Smash Brothers with everything. It wouldn't hurt me. Or the same thing with Splatoon, just to keep people who never played that game to be like, oh wow, give it a shot and enjoy it, and also give the development time for the other iteration of those games to take their time and do it instead of being rushed like I said how Sakurai tried to kill himself to do freaking this Smash Brothers.
Yeah, that poor dude. He needs at least a break for a couple of years. Seriously.
Yeah, we need to give him break, gamers, and also Sakurai.
Give him till 2017. Just give him a year off at least.
Well, I can't, well, no, because you already done working on his new game already.
Well, I already know he's working on your game. I'm just saying he really needs at least a year off.
Well, it's hit like I said, Sakurai. If I ever get to meet this guy, I'll tell him, hey, Sakurai, I don't know. Seriously, let somebody shadow you, please. Iwata tried his best to get somebody to shadow you. You want to be stubborn, please let somebody shadow you. You're a great talent. We don't want to lose your talent.
Seriously.
You're the only person. You're the only one at the
You need a protege.
Yeah, you're the only one at Nintendo who's not doing it, which is kind of sad. Sakura, I mean, Minamoto of course, Minamoto has done several one of them, several. Inuma has one right now that's done one too. So Iwata you were Iwata's protege. Please let somebody shadow you, please.
Just one. You could just pick one person. You don't need to have a bunch. Just one.
Exactly, please, because you are a very unique talent, and I would love to somebody you teach these person to make this game, and then they carry on. Maybe they carry on your Kirby game more or Kid Icarus or something. I just want that. That's all I care for. Keep the games going. You know what I mean? So you don't
Agreed.
have to. So you don't have to be in the hospital with pneumonia because you can't keep from the computer. That's when you're taking your craft to a higher level, boy. You go to the hospital for sickness because you didn't want to sleep. Wow.
Yeah. But that's the type of drive that make people legendary.
No.
Sometimes
Yes. Yes.
you gotta go a little bit further. You gotta go a little bit harder. But at the same time, you don't want to shorten your lifespan either.
Yep. Yep. That is true. So again, it's been fun with the Good Shepherd. Like I say, his channel. He's gonna put. You say you're gonna put some more life stuff on your channel, right?
Yeah, I'm still gonna talk gaming, of course, but I'm gonna strongly promote live stuff, like just talking about different things and scenarios, and like just I keep it real. I've had some dark stuff in my life, and I'm trying to let people know like stuff happens, but there's better things to come, and you can make it better amongst other stuff. Like yeah, so I'm gonna leave that alone. But
No,
I'm
no. Okay.
promoting life itself. There's good and bad. Live, learn, grow. That's all I'll say there.
All right, and also you could catch the Good Shepherd. Also, he's one of the main cats at Gamers at Large. We have Jay Fleming, Andre, Kwame, True, Vicky, Shadow Fox Infinite. You know, those guys go at it with the Mr. T. They go at it and they do their thing. So check him out there as
Tomorrow
well
night.
too. Yep. Tomorrow night he gets the mid cast, and then Sundays is the one that have the regular the bigger cast,
Yep.
and their topics range from gaming to movies to animes and stuff like that, and stuff like and hopefully I could do an anime cast. I do want to do one anime cast. That
I
would be
do.
cool.
I'm actually gonna do a review on Boruto soon with Jay Fleming on his channel
Okay, okay,
as
yeah,
well.
and
And if you want
again.
to see me go completely random, check out the OGL cast.
Yes, and also, because one of those things is when I do these podcasts, I always try to say out, but the questions kept on coming.
Yeah, you talk too damn much. Seriously. Like I
Well, I
thought this was
talk
gonna be
too
an
much.
hour-long cast. I can't tell
It's
you how many times my lady has looked over me like, "Really, you're still
it's the
on there?"
questions. You saw which questions we had to do. Come on, man.
You know you got me in trouble tonight, right? I'm just saying.
But you know what? Again, we are the highest, the peak. We peaked at 42 views watching us. Thank you guys for watching us. Us two guys talking about
Yeah, all
just
we're doing
regular
is
things.
talking. It's nothing special. I mean,
Yeah,
granted, I am awesome still. Thank you.
thank you for watching us, of course, and thank you all for the questions that you asked us. And like I said, it's cool to be that it's cool that I'm doing these one-on-ones so you guys get used to what these guys are, and also understand where they come from, where their points, and when they do their just give a background and say, hey, I know where Shepard's coming from because he's an RPG fiend. I could see why he had this RPG love for this game and what he says he's passionate about this game. Same, that's the same with Andre with his ideas. Like, why is this guy
I'm
always keep
fighting that too, for the record. It just doesn't seem that way because I love RPGs more.
got you? But you know what I meant
We'll
though.
talk fighting games another time.
Yeah, but it's and shout out to my boy SK Massive. He wanted to do something later on. And I didn't know the time to take that crazy. We are gonna do maybe summertime or some later on. Again, then we're gonna do an Endcast Caribbean edition, full Caribbean edition. SK Massive, me, the Good Shepherd, Triple M, Kwame True.
Sorry.
We're gonna do that. So with that said, you get any last words you have, Shepherd?
Um, live, learn, grow. Shut up and play. Um, that's it. Game on, peoples.
All right, and you know my stance. So as usual, there's no perfect games out there. What's perfect to you is not perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect to you. Simply play them games. Peace, people.